Giving honor to the Most High Yah by way of Yahushua HaMashiach. John 5, 39. John 5:39.
It says, search the scripts for enemy, think ye have eternal life, and there they will testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I am come in my Father's name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that cometh from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuses you, even Moses, in whom ye trust. For if you have believed Moses, you would believe me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how shall you believe my word?
Let's go over here to Romans chapter 12. Pick me up at about verse 5. Matter of fact, make it Ecclesiastes 9 and 4.
It said, for to him that is joined to all the living, there is hope. For a living dog is better than a dead lion.
So he said, him that's joined the what? The living, there's hope. That word for hope is bitacon, and you have a bot, a tet, a ka, a u, and a noon. So, and that's simply to have trust or to have confidence. So, read that part again.
It says, for him that is joined to all living, there is hope. For a living
So
dog
if you're
is
joined
better
to
than
the
a dead
living,
lion.
there's hope, or there's a trust or confidence. So let's take a look at John chapter 15 and verse 1. When you're joined to the living, there's hope or there's a trust or a confidence. The reason why most people don't have any, matter of fact, Paul, give me Proverbs 21 and 13.
Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. Said 21.
Yeah, that ain't it. Nevertheless, the verse that I'm referring to is this, that he that wandereth out the way of understanding to remain amongst the congregation of the dead.
That's 16.
Go ahead.
It said, the man that wanders out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
When you wander out of the way, see now why is this relevant? Get Luke 9 and 62. See, ain't no hope for somebody because you joined to the dead. After the Luke 9 and 62, you can get 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 14. Proceed.
It says, and Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Elohim.
Back it up to 60 then. Make it 57.
It says, and it came to pass that as they went the way, a certain man said unto him, Master, I will follow thee wherever thou go. And Yahushua said unto him, foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man have not where to lay his head. And he said unto another, follow me. But he said, Master, suffer me first to go and bury my father. And Yahushua said unto him, let the dead bury their dead, but go.
Pause. You see what he said, let the dead bury. So you join to the dead. He said there's no hope for anybody. It's more hope for somebody who's joined to the living. Because when you're dead, you ain't got no hope. See, now we ain't just talking about literally being in no grave, because if you ain't got no ruach, see, there's another instance. Give me 1 Thessalonians 4, right? Read verse 13. All we want is verse 13. Just for the statement that Paul finna make.
But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope.
They have no hope. Why they don't have any hope? Go on and read the John 15:1. This is why they ain't got no hope. Because they're not joined to the you have to be joined to a Mashiach. If you're not joined to him, you don't have no hope. That's why I say it's better to be joined to the living. Because he said a dead dog is better than a living lion. Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of people sit back and look at that because they ain't joined to nothing. That's what I refer to you. You wonder why niggas venture off the other stuff? Because they dead already. So they looking to, we going to read the 2 Corinthians 6 in a moment. They looking to be with the dead. Do you know what I'm saying? Now I say, man, I studied all this stuff long before I even touched this Bible. Understood anything, like all that stuff. But it was, I felt like how Nas felt in Belly. Like I ain't want to be a part of the movement or nothing. I just wanted to be aware of what this stuff we're talking about. Plus, when you're in the chain gang, what else you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Nigga, we read all types of books on all types of things, on all types of subjects and topics from all types of authors. Do you know what I'm saying? And then you get out of prison and you hear these niggas and they own this here. That's why niggas be on that scholarship stuff so strong, because they take what these people done put in books like that's what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? And a lot of that stuff be a lot of niggas' hypothesis or opinion. Ain't necessarily, there's no fact. I told you, that stuff, man, that's that stuff Chingy was talking about. And you see how stupid niggas looking at Chingy like, that nigga sound dumb. It's millions of niggas who talk just like him. You know what I'm saying? Who believe the exact same things that he believed. And niggas sit there and listen to him like, that nigga deep, boy. That nigga wise. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have to be in no word and I'd be like, boy, that nigga sounds stupid. Because that's how I felt like when I was reading them books. Like, this junk sounds stupid. You know what I'm saying? But all of that stuff is for one reason. Because the adversary knows that he cannot destroy the word of Yahuwah, because the word of Yahuwah endures forever. So he has to destroy your hope in it. He has to destroy your validity of it in your own heart and mind, because he can never get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? So he has to make you believe that Christianity is pertinent. Like dudes argue about this stuff all day. At the end of the day, man, if it's Christianity and it's not lining up with the word, then it's not from Yah. I don't care what label you put on it. You know what I'm saying? That's why they make Islam be pertinent, or Hinduism, or Buddhism, whatever it is that niggas can come up with. You know what I'm saying? Anything to stop you from serving the living Elohim and by way of his son, that's what they gonna do. Go ahead, man.
We had John 15.
And 1.
It said, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit is taken away, and every branch that beareth fruit he purgeth, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me.
Paul, now we read it last night. We're going to read it again. Revelation 1 and 17. So you got to abide in the vine. Look at what he says. Because remember, this hope, this is your trust and your confidence. It's what you confident in. See, a lot of people not confident in y'all. That's why they don't take nothing. That's why he say those that don't have no root in them, when persecution or tribulation arise because of the word, they're offended. Because you didn't have any confidence in them to begin with. Go ahead.
1 and 17.
2 Corinthians 6 and 14.
Yes, Revelation.
Oh, Revelation 1 and 17.
It says, and when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead, and he laid his right hand upon me, saying unto me, fear not, I am the first and the last. I am he that liveth.
I'm that he that what?
He that liveth.
And what else?
And was dead.
And what happened?
And behold, I am alive forevermore.
He is what?
Alive forevermore.
So this is why it's hope for him who's joined to the living. This man alive forever. But see, you have to believe that. Go on and get him Romans 10, man. 10 and 5 before we even get to that though. Because we have to hammer that home. And one thing for certain and two things for sure. I can't give you no faith. It's only one person who can open your heart to that. Y'all remember that? Ain't that's what he did for Lydia in that book in Acts? When he came to her and said that the Most High opened her heart. I can't open your heart. He can't do it. You can't do it. I can't open nobody's heart. Y'all got to do that. I don't have that type of authority nor power or ability. Because if I did, we'd open the hearts of everybody to receive it. Wouldn't you think? You can't open nobody's mind to receive that. Go ahead.
Romans 10.
And 5.
For Moses describeth the righteous, which is of the law, or of the Torah, that the man that doeth those things shall live by them. But the righteousness which is of faith speaketh on this wise, say not in thy heart, who shall ascend unto Shamahim? That is, to bring the Mashiach down from above. Or who shall descend into the deep? That is, to bring the Mashiach again from the dead. But what saith it? The word is not thee, even in thy mouth and in thy heart. That is the word of faith which we preach. That if thou shalt confess with thy mouth that the Master Yahushua shall live, believe in thy heart that Elohim has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved.
So a lot of people don't believe that. They don't really believe that. We know why they don't believe it, because they didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? And it shows. Because, see, that's not sufficient for people, so they got to find something else. You know what I'm saying? Let me go find Kemetic science, and that'll do it. Let me take Islam, that'll do it. Let me take Hinduism, that'll do it. Let me be a free thinker, that'll do it. And then you know what all of these people do with all these schools of thoughts that they deal with? They come back to this. And they either try to come against it, or they try to meld this with the other stuff that they got going on. But if this was so fraudulent, why pay attention to it? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not paying attention to now other religion on this earth because I know it's fake, so I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make me damn bit of difference. Did you see anybody in this book feeling the need to go around? He just told us to smash their idols when we came across them. So if I come across it, I'm going to smash it on sight. But I'm not going to look for it. See, niggas come looking for the word. Looking for people who follow the word. I seen a dude say, how could you believe, if you believe in the Bible, you have to believe that Abraham, when he went into Egypt, that he had to be taught by the elders because you said so? Because that's what you want us to do, because then if you feel like you could take the people who in this book and validate it by what you believe in, then that would take all the people who follow the word of Yah and have to have them come over here where y'all at. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm not coming over here where y'all at because your gods are gay. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff y'all got going on is trash, and we want nothing to do with it. Come on to 2 Corinthians 6 and 14, sir.
It says,
Go ahead.
be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion have light with darkness? And what concord has the Mashiach with Belial, or what part hath he that believed with the infidel?
How does that work? Because if you're not joined to the because if you join to that, that means you don't have that confidence and hope like he talking about in Ecclesiastes. So keep on going.
It said, and what agreement hath the temple of Elohim with idols? For ye are the temple of the living Elohim, as Elohim has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them and
be what?
Separate.
Be ye what?
Separate.
Now, one of those characters in that word, big cone, you got that cot, so there goes that separation. Go ahead.
Saith Yahuwah, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive
So
you.
when we look at, and you'll be what? Go ahead.
It said, and you will be the father, and I will be a father unto you, and you shall be my sons and daughters.
So when we look at that, right, you have a bot, tet, like I mentioned, kot, u, and noon. So when we turn around and we look at that, if you're surrounded by the Son, you'll be separated and secured to eternal life, which takes us back to what we read in John 15. And let's take ourselves back to John 15 and pick it up in verse 4. So the only way you're going to have any semblance of hope in this instance is because you've allowed Yah to surround you or to be contained in you. The Son is contained in you. Because the Son is contained in you, then guess what's going to happen? Now you've been separated, and now since you're separated, you've secured life eternal for yourself. Get Ecclesiastes 9 and 4 before you read John 15 and 4 again. Ecclesiastes 9 and 4.
It says, for to him that is joined to all the living there is hope, for a living dog is better than a dead lion.
So there's hope for you if you're joined to the living. Now read John 15 and 4 again for me, please, sir.
It says, abide in me and I in you, and the branch cannot bear fruit of itself except it abide in the vine. No more can ye except ye abide in me. Go sit down.
Now I'm going to ask y'all a question. Can y'all think of somebody who was joined to the living in this book?
Go sit down.
And when we look at living, we talking about somebody who was walking in an upright fashion.
You said somebody who
It said, just like we read in Ecclesiastes 9 and 4. He wasn't joined to nobody. He had done left Abraham. He was Dolo.
I was thinking about Jonathan and David.
Yeah, that's one of them. Jonathan and David. You look at Ruth and Naomi as well. Because remember, you're talking about joined to the living. Go get Ruth chapter 1. Reason why I'm picking that one up because it says better for a dead dog than a living lion. Because she would be considered to be a dog because she was a Moabite.
Where you want?
1 and 1.
It said, now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was a famine in the land, and a certain man of Bethlehem, Yehuda, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. And the name of the man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife Naomi, and the name of his 2 sons was Mahlon and Shalom, Ephraimites of Bethlehem, Yehuda, and they came into the country of Moab and continued there. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left with her 2 sons.
Mm-hmm.
And they took them wives of the women of Moab. The name of one was Ophrah, the name of the other was Ruth, and they dwelled there about 10 years. And Mahlon and Shalom died, also both of them, and the woman was left, and her 2 sons and her husband. And when she rose with her daughters-in-law, that she might return to the country of Moab, for she had heard in the country of Moab how that Yahuwah had visited his people and given them bread. Therefore she went forth out of the place where she was, and her 2 daughters-in-law with her, and they went into the way to return to the land of Yehuda. And Naomi went and said unto her 2 daughters-in-law, go return to the mother's house. Yahuwah dealt kindly with you as ye have dealt with the dead and with me. And Yahuwah grant you that you may find rest, each of you, in the house of her husband. Then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice and wept. And they said unto her, surely we will return.
Drop down to verse 12 because we can't read all this.
I'm at 11 now.
Just go on to 12. I don't need 11.
It said, turn again, my daughters, go your way, for I am too old to have a husband. If I should say I have hope,
She said if I should have what?
I should have hope. If I should have a husband also tonight, and should also bear sons.
Now, Naomi just asked the question if she should have hope, right? Tonight, that she would give you a husband, right? That he could give you some children. What you think that means? While you think on that, go ahead and drop down to verse 15 for me, please.
It's saying, she said, behold, thy sister-in-law is going back to her people, and to her Elohim, return thou after thy sister-in-law. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave, or to return from following after thee, for whither thou go, I will go.
For whether what? Say what?
Wherever thou goest, I will go. And where thou lodge, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy Elohim my
Now, what y'all think this means? This woman says, if I have hope, if I should have a husband also tonight, and should also bear sons, will you wait till they grown?
She said she believes that it can happen.
No, that's Naomi asking Ruth a question. You know what I'm saying? If I could give you a husband tonight, would you wait till the children were grown? Basically, if I could get a husband tonight, I have kids, they get grown, and I give them to you, would you wait on that? Would you wait on that? Go on and get him Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1 again. After that, 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 20. No, make it 22. So you got to be contained with the Son. When you contain with the Son, then you will be separated. If that ruach, that word ain't in you, he's not going to separate you. And you definitely haven't secured eternal life. That word got to be in you.
It said, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
Go ahead.
And Yahuwah answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables.
Write it what?
Write it plain upon tables.
What else?
That he may run that read it.
That he that what?
That he may run that read it.
Why do you think he said that he may run that read it? Because you ought to be seeking after it once you read it. Pause. Luke 11 real quick, man. Verse 9. We come right by it. See, that was some of y'all probably ain't running after it. You ain't seeking after it. I don't know how you expect to be saved after something you're not diligently seeking after. I don't know how you think that's going to work. You think this man going to magically snap his fingers and put his ruach in you? That's not how this works. This is how not any of this works. Come on, man.
Luke 11.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass that as he was praying in a certain place, when he ceased, one of his disciples said unto him, Master, teach us to pray, as John also taught his disciples.
You said verse 9?
Yeah. I don't know what you read.
I read it. It said, and I say unto you, ask and it shall be given you, seeking ye shall find.
Seeking what?
Ye shall find.
You ain't finding y'all because you ain't seeking after. But you know what you seeking after? Everything else of no consequence. That's what I was telling you earlier. What Cuz we're talking about in his live. Like, come on, man. That's all you niggas seeking after. You better be seeking after y'all. Because guess what? My homeboy cousin just died. Y'all just seen that story about that lady talking about she thought this nigga was in her house and killed this man in his own house. Do you know what I'm saying? Niggas dying every day out here on these streets, and you talking about you seeking y'all and you want to be saved. And you going to be the next one in the casket, and then you going to wake up and go straight to hell and wondering what happened. Why am I here? You know what I'm saying? I ain't eat no pork. I kept the Sabbath because you didn't believe. That's why you didn't get the result that you were looking after. That man don't take class attendance, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Nor is he concerned about how much you read this book if you haven't imprinted it upon your heart and you believe it with every ounce of your soul. We just read it last night. You have to believe that he is, and he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. Give me Psalm 27 real quick, man. 27 for. That's why people ain't got no hope. You ain't got, because see, hope is expectation. So you have an expectation that this man is going to do something. See, you don't believe he gonna do it. That's why you don't believe it, because you don't have an expectation that you're going to receive anything. I told you, no, all you niggas happy about is we Israel, and oh man, this is some knowledge. You're gonna know your way straight to a place you don't want to be at, because you didn't take the time to know the man you were seeking after. Go ahead.
Yeah, 27.
Info. Psalm 27 and 4. Look like we say phone hung up on it.
It said, one thing I have desired of Yahuwah that I will seek, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of Yahuwah all the days of my life.
Just so what's the thing he said he sought to seek after?
That I may dwell in the house of Yahuwah all the days of my life.
Dwell where?
In the house of Yahuwah.
Go ahead.
All the days of my life, and behold the beauty of Yahuwah.
Behold what?
The beauty of Yahuwah.
What else?
And inquire in his temple.
We just read about that last night, that the temple would be what? Yahuwah and the Lamb. That's what he said he sought after, to dwell in his temple. But hold on, didn't we just read what he said, I and me, I and you and me? So you supposed to be desiring to dwell in the Mashah. You can only do that through faith. Can't do that just because you kept some commandments. You can keep some commandments and not believe a single solitary word of it. We done went over that, didn't we? With them kings, right? How many kings did we see that they said they kept the law but not with a perfect heart? Them laws don't get your heart perfect. If you weak in faith, you better do something with it, because you're going to hell if you is. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing about all that. I done told y'all this before, man. We done read it too many times. To have a heart of unbelief is more wicked than any action that you can partake in. Do you know what I'm saying? It's more wicked than being a homosexual. It's more wicked than being an adulterer. It's more wicked than being a liar, because you've looked the living Elohim in his face and told him he was a liar. Do you know what I'm saying? Get him 1 John chapter 5 real quick, man. Read that verse 9. They're serious, though. See, ain't nobody really looked at unbelief if that's the case. You just looked this man in the face and told him he was a liar.
I'm that's worse. It's not the
Because he
same
said
thing.
don't have an evil heart of unbelief from departing from the living Elohim. He stated in Deuteronomy that these are children in whom have no faith. He said the same things in Psalm 78. They weren't steadfast in his covenant because their heart moved from him because they trusted not in his salvation. That's what irked him more than anything, because that's what they were murmuring and complaining about in the wilderness. What could he save them?
I was just thinking about when you say it's worse than anything else.
Oh, it's absolutely worse.
Because if you're doing that, what I mean, you don't believe anyway.
But you also had people who was doing what the man said, but they didn't trust in him and still lost.
You said 5.
Where you at?
First down 5.
5 and 10, make it 9. See, that's why unbelief is worse. Because like we mentioned to you with Amaziah, he did all that, kept all the law, but he didn't do it with a perfect heart. And then what ended up happening? He ended up going into idolatry because he didn't trust in Yah, that Yah was working the salvation. He felt like he was working it. And he went to worship gods of a people who couldn't even save the people whom he smashed. A heart of unbelief is desperately wicked. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, man.
It says, he that believeth on the Son of Elohim hath the witness in himself. He that believeth not, Elohim hath made him a liar, because he believeth not the record that Elohim gave of his Son.
See, you see how that's rough, right? If you don't believe, you just said Elohim is a liar. You said the man was lying. We just read last night, it's impossible for Elohim to lie. So how would you feel if you know you don't tell lies and a person look you in your face and tell you a liar? And you know you ain't lying. Look how disrespectful that is. You know what I'm saying? And we sit around here and say we believe in Yah, but we doubt him, so we calling him a liar to his face, because you calling him a liar in your heart. You ain't got to open it out your mouth. You can be like, I know in Israelite, Yah is real. We the people of the book, but you don't really believe him, though. You don't believe he raised his son on the 3rd day. You don't really believe that. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's sitting back looking at. You don't really believe that. You don't believe not now promise I made to you. So he looking at all the stuff you doing. That's why he say you have to believe that he is and a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. That means you have to believe that Yah exists and that he rewards those who seek after him. Go back to the Habakkuk chapter 2. That's where the difference come in at. That's why he said those who are poor in this world but rich in faith. That's why you see in this book who the people that he said the elders obtained a good report by. You see the people that he speak well of the most were the people who believed. You never seen him speak well of just people who kept the law. Anytime he left a remembrance, a memorial of an individual, the first thing he referenced was their level of faith they had towards him. Those are the people who he esteems the highest. Do you know what I'm saying? Because their heart, they're confident in him. We just mentioned that Psalm 16. He said, my flesh rest in hope that you won't suffer me to see corruption. That means his flesh, his mortal body, believed and hoped. He had an expectation that I will resurrect from the dead. I know he gonna do this. Because if he wasn't gonna do it, why he told me that then? You know what I'm saying? That's why he say when people get persecution and tribulation, they by and by they are offended because you never believed him. You were never rooted in that. You never had that confidence in that. And that's why you turn. That's why niggas go around and be like, I'm a Muslim now. I'm Kemetic now. You know what I'm saying? That's why they do that. That's why niggas go back in the world and be like, oh, I'm just backsliding. Because you never really believed it. Most people pick up this book like we were talking about last week for the wrong reasons. You want everything from Yahuwah but your soul saved. You know what I'm saying? Niggas want jobs, niggas want spouses, niggas want money, niggas want this, niggas want esteem, but niggas don't want their soul saved. And he'll let you get all that and then you can go to hell with it. You know what I'm saying? Your whole objective, going to get in Matthew 6, man. You know the verse, man. Pick me up at 30. Just read that to him real quick. Where we were going, what I had you holding for. Yeah, we go back to that. I didn't want you to hear what the man told you. This what the man, that man say, why you call me Lord, Lord, Master, Master, and don't do the things that I say? Ain't that what he said? Luke 6:46, that's what he told you. How I'm your master, you don't do what I told you to do. Look what he told you to do. Matthew 6:30. Don't say this man your master and you ain't doing that. Look what he told you to do.
Wherefore, if Elohim so clothe the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe
Now, of course,
you?
you know this is the part where he tell you to take no thought for your what? For your life. See, that's a verse right there. I'm telling you, I done told y'all this before. When I used to preach in the street, I used to hit niggas with that all the time. And you know what dudes used to tell me? You got to be realistic, bro. Oh, you don't believe in Yah. You don't believe in Yah at all. Because what you worrying about your life for? What did we just read last night? Your life ain't but a what? Vapor. You know what I'm saying? So you don't need to be do you sit around think about water vapors that appear and disappear? Food and clothing can come and go just like that. Just as easy as you had something to eat, you cannot have something to eat. Just as easy but again, we also know one thing for certain and two things for sure. I ain't never seen the righteous forsaken and begging for bread. So they ain't got to worry about that. You know why? Because they trust in Yah. Why would I believe my Abba would forsake? And that's the same token to all y'all got kids. Now what little Eugene ain't got to say, Dad, I need some new shoes. You already know he needs shoes because you provided for him. Do you know what I'm saying? He ain't never got to come. Of course, you know children cry when they hungry, but you know they hungry because you usually get a good record when the last time he ate. You already aware of everything he need before he went to whining for a sandwich. You already knew he needed a sandwich because boy ain't ate since about 10:30. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I know he hungry. Let me slide around here and fix this boy something to eat. You already know that. So why you think your Father in heaven don't know everything that you require and need before you ask him for it? Because you don't believe him. That's why. You know what I'm saying? You don't believe him. That's why. He already know you need a roof. He know you need an automobile to get to and fro. He know you need clothes. He know you need all of that. You ain't got to ask him for that, and you shouldn't be wasting your time asking him for it. You ain't got no type of spirit in you, but you talking about, Lord, can I please get a new outfit? And you know niggas do this every day. Do you know what I'm saying? Ask for all type of stuff. Go ahead, man. Don't never ask for nothing that's gonna say they soul alive. Just like you see people on the internet all the time, please send me a husband. I need a wife, y'all. Y'all, are you serious? And they get on the internet with it. It's the lamest, most pathetic thing in the world to top it. Your soul ain't saved, but you asking him for that. But asking for some knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you might be able to receive his ruach and live forever. That's what you ought to ask for. You ought to ask that his people be strengthened all across this earth. And if bare minimum, you better ask what he had when he told his apostles, send forth laborers into thy harvest, for the harvest is plentiful and the laborers are few. Because, boy, souls need to be saved. Go ahead, man.
It says, O ye of little faith, therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For after these things do the Gentiles seek.
That's the, see, who seek after that?
Gentiles.
So that's what the nations seek. That's what they concerned with. You know why that's what they concerned with? Because that's where their hope lies. Their hope lies in that. You know what I'm saying? We got Yahuwah Elohim. Our hope shouldn't lie in that. Come on with it, man.
For your heavenly Father knows that ye have need of all these things.
What else?
But seek ye first the kingdom of Elohim.
Seek what?
Seek ye first the kingdom of
Seek
Elohim.
what?
Seek ye first the
Is that a
kingdom of
suggestion? Or is that a directive?
Elohim.
So that's what you ought to be seeking first. Go ahead.
And his righteousness and all.
And his what?
And his righteousness.
We already read what his righteousness is. That's faith, ain't it? So you ought to be seeking the kingdom of Elohim. You should be seeking eternal life and the faith of Elohim. That's what you ought to be looking for. Not the next TV show, not the next outfit, not the next party, not the next event, not the next concert. None of that. Not till you done secured that. Look what he tell you after that.
It says, and all these things shall be added to you.
I
Take
give you that.
therefore no thought for the morrow shall take thought of the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof.
Didn't he tell David, I'd have gave you such and such and such and such if you would have asked me for it? You know what I'm saying? Didn't David seek you with all his heart? He said, I'll give you whatever you want. That's nothing. That's nothing.
Put it down, Mari.
Come on back to Habakkuk, man. Just sit back and think about it, man. Don't you know that if Job's faith wasn't that strong, that weak faith his wife had would have destroyed him? Do you know what I'm saying? See, that's why we looking at the light versus darkness. Because if you don't believe in Yah, you definitely a son of Belial because you certainly worthless. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no real faith, you definitely worthless. What is you worth? You ain't worth nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because when it get real, Guess what? If something happened to you, I say Job was strong. His wife telling him, curse Yah and die. Now, if he wasn't that strong, his wife taking him to hell because she wasn't that backbone that he required. Or vice versa. What if she weak? How you gonna get strength from a weak nigga? That's like two basers trying to get off crack together. Two hoes trying to stop hoeing. Two thieves trying to stop stealing. Somebody can't give strength to somebody who ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Now you're going to have to go through this by yourself. Job had to go through that by himself, but praise the Lamb, y'all was with him. That's why we were looking at what we were looking at in Numbers last night, right? You remember what he told you? He said there wasn't no iniquity or perverseness in Jacob. That's why Yahuwah his Elohim was with him and the shot of the king was present. Don't you know wherever this man present at, that Torah is present. Yom Torah is present. That day of trumpets is present, meaning that day of resurrection is present, and that's your hope and expectation. That's why it's better hope for him who's joined to the living than the dead. Continue. Well, wherever you stop at, sir. I'll wager you on 2 or 3.
I was in 9.
You wasn't in no 9 and no Habakkuk, I'll tell you that.
It ain't 9.
Habakkuk 2, 3.
Where I was at chapter 9?
I wasn't in no chapter 9.
One book was. I got confused.
Ecclesiastes 9.
Yeah, that's what it was. We had 2 and 2. He said, you will answer me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that read it. For the vision is yet for the appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
And not what?
And not lie.
And not what?
And not lie.
What else?
Though it tarry,
wait for it.
Because it will surely come, and it will not tarry.
It won't what?
It will not tarry.
It ain't gonna tarry.
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
Because the just
shall live by faith.
Now go get me Psalms 39 and 4. You know what he told you? He told you to do what? To wait for it, right? Psalms 39 and 4. He told you to wait for it.
It says, Yahuwah make me to know my end and the measure of my days, what it is.
He make you to know your what?
The measure of my days.
Mm-hmm.
That I may know how frail I am.
That you may know how what?
Frail I am.
Pause. Hamashiach got ready to die. He told him it was time for him to meet his decease. What was he able to understand at that point? How frail he was. Because what ended up happening in that instance? Amalekim had to come and strengthen him because he was what but what? Flesh. Flesh and blood at that particular moment. See, so that's why this man had you measure your days, sit back so you can know that you need him. He don't need you. What did Hamashiach tell his apostles? I chose you. You didn't choose me. You know what I'm saying? See, I think sometimes we forget that and we acting like we chose Yah. Or we made ourselves known to Yah. No. He made himself known to you. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can't sit back and say if he chose you or not, because they'd have to sit back and we'd have to run the course of the evidence to see if that's so. You know what I'm saying? We'd have to run the book. We'd have to run down the book of what the book describes those who are chosen to be able to determine if a man is chosen or not. I can't walk around and say you chose. See, niggas think they chosen because they're an Israelite. But what did he tell you in Romans chapter 9? Well, that's what he said about Jacob and Esau. But he told you what? But in Isaac thy seed shall be called. You know what I'm saying? So the children of the flesh are not counted for the seed, but the children of the promise. You know what I'm saying? So the children who are of faith, those are the ones who've been chosen. That's one of the evidences. You sit back and you look at an individual got strong faith in you, who you know Yah chosen. Who you seen in this book who Yah chose that didn't have no real faith? My sentiments exactly. Continue.
It says, behold, thou hast made my days as a hand's breadth, and my age is as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity.
Nothingness. Go ahead.
Surely every man walketh in a vain shoe. Surely they are disquieted in vain. He heapeth up riches and knoweth not who shall gather them. And now, Yahuwah, what wait I for?
What do I wait for?
My hope is in thee.
My hope is in thee. So when we look at wait, right, it's the word kavah. Kuf, u, and hey. And it's something that you expect or you wait or you look eagerly for. So guess what that is, right? You're trying to behold the final light. Now, what do y'all think this means when you're trying to behold the final light? Because this is what you're waiting for. Well, let's look and see. John chapter 1 for me, please, sir. John 1 and 3. Yeah, light. The coof, sir. The coof. Not cough. Coof. You said what? John 1 and 3. Because we talking about, and matter of fact, before you read that, go to get them Romans 12 and 5, because that's what I named the video, and I got to put the name of the video in there before we do this.
It says, so we, being many, are one body in the Mashiach, and every one members one together. Having then gifts different according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of our faith. Or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching. Or he that exhorteth on exhortation, he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence, he that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another. Not slothful in business.
Now what?
Slothful in business.
Stop being lazy. And that ain't just dealing with the words. Stop being lazy. You know what I'm saying? Your Elohim ain't lazy. So we ain't got no business being lazy. Go ahead.
Fervent in Ruach, serving Yahuwah. Rejoicing in hope.
Rejoicing in what?
Hope.
Rejoicing in what?
Hope.
And what else?
Patient in tribulation.
Patient in tribulation.
Continuing instant in prayer.
Pause. Continuing instant in prayer. That's the three things we're going to look at. Being patient in tribulation, rejoicing in hope, and continuing instant in prayer. Now you can go back to where I had you going beforehand. With John 1 and 3. Now when you look at rejoicing in hope, you rejoicing in your hope because you're rejoicing in the expectation of something that you're looking to receive. John 1 and 3. Remember, right, that word, that kuf, that oo, and that hey, so we're trying to behold to be secured to that last light. Because we had a light in the beginning, correct? He said in the beginning, Yah said, let there be what? Light, and there was light. But you looking for the last light. A light that will never be extinguished. Continue.
It say all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men.
In him was light, and the light was the what?
Light of men.
Life of men. So this last light you looking for is the life of men. Give me 1 John 1 and 3.
I got the TV on.
Probably is. Shoot, that probably at Kira's house. Grandma don't care nothing about what Kira got going on.
That which we have seen and heard declare we unto you, that ye also may have fellowship with us, and truly our fellowship is with the Father and with his Son Yahushua Mashiach. And these things write we unto you, that your joy may be full.
That your what might be full?
That your joy may be full.
What else?
This then is the message which we have heard of him and declare unto you, that Elohim is light and there's no darkness at all.
There's no what?
Darkness at all.
So when we look in this earth, what is in this earth? So that's why you're looking for the final light. Now, why is that important when we say we're looking at the final light? I didn't read this last night, but we'll read it now. Zechariah 14 and 6.
It says, and it shall come to pass on that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark, but it shall be one day what shall be known to Yahuwah, not day nor night, but it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light.
Your earnest expectation is that you're waiting for this man to return to bring that last light. That's what you're waiting for. Psalms 27 and 12. You got a lot of people, y'all waiting for your sky daddy to come back, and all this. People say all this type of stuff because what did the Mashiach say? Peter said the same thing. Where is the sign of his coming? What did he tell you that? Don't let the heathen say, where is Yahuwah? That's what these people out here doing. Y'all waiting for a man to crack the sky to come back and get you. But you waiting for niggas to mobilize to take down some white people at a job you go to work at every day who you say the devil. But you laughing at me. But you laughing at me though. Oh, y'all brothers don't want to do nothing. Well, I ain't seen you crank up nothing and ride yet, nigga. Maybe if you nigga crunk something up, these same niggas talk all that junk, ain't gonna bust a grape in the fruit factory, ain't gonna spill no blood, ain't gonna shed no blood, ain't gonna raise their voice. You know? Straight up though. You got some brothers who will. You got a lot of brothers who ain't. Ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just wanna talk. Niggas ain't gonna do nothing. Go ahead, man. 27:12.
It says, deliver me not over unto the will of my enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. I had fainted unless I had believed to see the goodness of Yahuwah in the land of the living. Wait on Yahuwah, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thy heart. Wait, I say, on Yahuwah.
Do what?
Wait, I say, on Yahuwah.
Who you know that waited on Yahuwah? That we can think of right now, off the top of our head. Who waited on Yahuwah for their heart to be strengthened while they were going through tribulation? Because remember, it's rejoicing in hope and being patient in tribulation. He talking about tribulation. In order to wait on Yahuwah, you got to endure tribulation. Since I mentioned that, get me Matthew 24, right? 24 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
24 and 17.
It said, let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither
Make
let
it
him-
24 and 15.
It say, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet, standing in the Kadash place, whosoever readeth this, let him understand. Then let them which be in Yehuda flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in winter, neither on the Shabbat.
Why?
For then shall be a great tribulation.
A great what?
Tribulation.
That has never been what?
That has never been since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be.
So the reason why we looking at this here, because your enemies are rising up against you, and you gonna need y'all to strengthen. See, this is what we talking about. I'm telling you. Well, if your faith ain't right, you nigga gonna fold. Do you know what I'm saying? When you go to seeing bodies dropping and people getting locked up for the word, your heart gonna fail you. Do you know what I'm saying? Is you ain't girding your heart up for it now. Do you know what I'm saying? Shoot, some of you niggas might fall out if the National Guard was to come through here picking niggas off. Some of you niggas probably be some of them same niggas who when they be videotaping the police beating or shooting somebody. What you doing to him? Instead of busting him upside his head and this what I'm doing to you. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you gonna fall out. Do you know what I'm saying? You gonna fall out. You seen that video that nigga hit that crack in the face?
That powder puff? That powder puff here?
He swole cuz up. Cuz I would like this here. But it wasn't even the fact though. It was the fact most dudes in these days and times would have recorded that white man accosting that woman versus going over there telling, hey man, go sit down somewhere, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Who?
It was in the Walmart parking lot, man. White dude walked up on cuz.
With the hat on, right?
Yeah, with the lady who was pregnant.
And then gave him a gut punch.
Yeah, then he punched him in his eye.
Yeah.
Swole him up.
He
Like-
did right. That cracker swallowed
Same
him
way I
first.
seen a video of a dude suplex a police officer, and everybody standing right. Don't do it. Don't do it. Well, shoot, once he suplexed him, y'all should have went ahead and Mardi Gras him and finished the job. Y'all standing there recording it. You know what I'm saying? So what you gonna do when these people start sweeping through here, really doing something to people? Y'all gonna be recording. This ain't right. Look what they doing to us. Your heart gonna fail. Straight up. You either gonna fall out on the street or you gonna watch them people kill your people and you just gonna be like, they killing us, this ain't right. Bump that.
That's just ain't funny, but that's not true. You're gonna be laughing until he come around there and slap the camera out your hand.
Slap the camera out your hand. And guess what? When he slap the camera out your hand, it's 3 niggas around the corner on that word stuff. Boy, I be telling about that with Yahoo, Yahah, whatever that stuff them niggas doing. Ain't on that. Shoot. Heart weed.
Yeah.
Heart weed. You know what I'm saying? See, I done been to jail, so them locking me up mean absolutely nothing. But if you scared of a jail cell, boy, you might want to go ahead and just put this thing down. Am I lying though? Give me Revelation 2 and 10. Look what he tell you, man. If you scared of a jail cell, boy, you might want to put this thing down, man. You might not want nothing to do with this. They locked Jeremiah up, didn't they? They locked Daniel up. They locked the Mashak up. They locked Micaiah up. Paul, Peter. They locked them all up. And them boys rejoiced in hope and were patient in their truth. We don't look at all that. Look at all that. At least a couple of them. Come on with it, man.
You want to look 2?
2 and 10. Look what he tell you.
Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
Don't fear nothing, you will suffer.
Behold, the adversary shall cast some of you into prison.
He gonna cast you where?
In the prison.
In the where?
Prison.
But do what?
That you may be tried.
That you may be what?
That you may have tribulation.
10 days. But be what?
Faithful.
Under what?
Unto death.
Under what?
Unto death.
I mean, don't be scared of dying now. You might get killed while you locked up. Come on around there where Peter was at, where he got locked up at. Let's look at where Peter got locked up at. Over there, what it is? Acts 13? It ain't Acts 13. It's Acts chapter 12. Acts 12 and 1. Let's look where Peter got locked up.
It say, now about that time, Herod the king stretched forth his hands and vexed certain of the assembly. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword.
Killed James.
And because he saw it pleased the Yahudim, he proceeded further to take Peter also.
These were the what?
When they were the days of unleavened bread.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending for after Easter to bring him forth to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Peter therefore...
Now remember, this actually says, say after unleavened bread, they were going to bring him out. Go ahead.
It said, Peter therefore was kept in prison.
He was kept where?
In prison.
But what did the people do?
But prayers were made without ceasing.
Prayers were made without what?
Ceasing.
Now look, when you look at continuing instant in prayer, that's telling you to continue in the face of, to be courageous. I remember a brother told me, he said, boy, if they lock you up, boy, for the word, we gonna bail you out. I said, you bet not. You know what I'm saying? He said, we gonna break you out. I said, break me out for what? Did you see Peter them talking about, get me out of here? They ain't do none of that. Go ahead, man.
It says, but prayers was made without ceasing of the assembly unto Elohim for him. When Herod would have brought him forth the same night, Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and with the keepers before the door, they kept the prison.
Keepers of the door, they kept the prison.
And behold, the Malachim of Yahuwah came down upon him, and light shine in the prison. And he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, arise quickly. And the chains fell off from his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And the Malachim said unto him, gird thyself, bind on thy sandals, as so he did. And he said unto him, cast thy garment about thee and follow me.
Look what Peter do though.
And he went out and followed him, and was not that it was true, which was done by the Malachim, but thought he saw a vision.
If he thought he saw a vision, then guess what he thought he was doing?
Dream.
He thought he was asleep. He didn't even think it was real. Do you know what I'm saying? He didn't even think it was real. But you know why he didn't think? Because in his mind, if I got to do this bid, then I'm going to do this bid. So he was willing to be patient in that tribulation. Because that was a little bit of... You know how many of these niggas will put their word down if they got locked up for it? Then you got stupid niggas who do stuff to get locked up and then say they being persecuted. Remember your cousin? Esau, F the police. They were waiting on him to say something like that, locked this stupid behind up. They persecuting the prophets. No, you got yourself locked up. I tell you like this here, man. If a nigga go back and forth to jail, that nigga gay. Nigga do stuff to go to jail on purpose, that nigga homeless, he don't want to take care of himself, or that nigga gay. Do you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody purposely going to be surrounded by men every day. You know what I'm saying? It's some people who get locked up on purpose because they can't function out here in society. So they'd rather be locked up where they can get a free meal every day and have somewhere to sleep and they ain't got to worry about paying no bills. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. They sit back dead real like, boy, and they like, hey, boy. Especially somebody who been gone for a long time. Been gone 10, 15, 20 years, ain't been out here. Boy, they get out here and they can't function. And they say, I'm going back. Well, I know a nigga who did that. Boy, that boy got out from doing 20, committed a murder not too long after that, and went back. Say he couldn't handle it. He got to take care of himself. Can you imagine for 20 plus years as a grown man, a person fed you, clothed you, housed you, and then you got put back on the street with no support system and been told to go fend for yourself? And when you went in, you were probably in your early 20s. So you getting out at 40 years old to a world you don't even recognize? But that's a lot for somebody to take and they ain't got nobody riding with them. You know what I'm saying? They fold under the pressure. You got some people who get out of that and make their life better. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't that strong. Some people weak. Some people weak. That's why I tell you the strong ought to support the weak. But we live in a society now where a nigga don't want to tell you he weak. Cause so he will masquerade and puff himself up as if he's stronger than what he is to cover up his insecurities that he's not a strong man. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to be seen as a weak man. So nigga keep that to themselves, to their own destruction. Go ahead, man.
He thought it was a vision. 10. When they.
Oh, well, that good enough though.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's good enough though. Who else can think of somebody who got locked up
Right, for righteousness.
for righteousness' sake? Well, let's go. Yeah, John the Baptist, we're going to get it. He got locked up. Go what you got, Sean.
He said the three.
Well, you can say they got locked up, but they definitely got through in a hot furnace. That's acceptable because they definitely were patient in their tribulation. What did they say when they stepped to them? When Nebuchadnezzar people stepped to Hananiah, Azariah, and Mishael, what did he say to him? What did they say to him? We care for you to answer you in this matter. You know what I'm saying? They looking at real trouble. You looking at you losing your life. When you look at Daniel, what did he face? The lion's den. But see, give me 1 Samuel 26, right? I'll go ahead and get the word for tribulation right now. 1 Samuel 26 and 24. Because you know if you in tribulation, you distressed, you troubled, you're vexed. Now we looking at people who've been troubled. You know Acts 14 and 22 say through much tribulation you got to enter into the kingdom of Elohim. The master said in John 16 and verse 33, what? In the world you'll have tribulation, but I've overcome the world. So you're going to have a little trouble out here. You're going to have a little distress. Don't let that trouble you. Because I already went through that for you. So you can overcome it through me, through the word, through faith, hope, and expectation in me. Continue, sir. 1 Samuel 26 and 24. But make it 22. 1 Samuel 26 and 22.
It said, and David answered and said, behold, the king's spear, and let one of the young men come over and fetch it. And Yahuwah render every man his righteousness and his faithfulness.
He rendered every man his what?
His righteousness and his faithfulness.
So that means he going to pay you back according to your faith and your faithfulness. Come on.
For Yahuwah delivered thee into my hand today, but I will not stretch forth my hand against Yahuwah's anointed.
Now he talking to Saul because he had an opportunity to kill Saul and didn't do it. Go ahead.
It said, and behold, as thy life as was much set by this day in my eyes, so let my life be much set in the eyes of Yahuwah, and let him deliver me out of all tribulation.
So hold on. He said, let his eyes be set. Now notice this here, right? He said that Yahuwah should deliver him out of tribulation because of what? Because of him showing mercy and him being faithful and him being righteous. Do you see how that works? And do you know from these three things, you know what you're seeing out of this here? You are seeing the weightier matters of the law. You seeing judgment, mercy, and faith. That's what's being manifested. This is what he's showing you right here, correct? Mm-hmm. When he does this, he say this will deliver him out of what? When you look at tribulation, the word is sarah. You have a sod, a rosh, and a hay, and guess what this is? Behold, this will pull one towards the highest. So tribulation is supposed to pull you towards Yahuwah. But a lot of people who don't believe tribulation does what? Push them away from Yahuwah. Because they don't really believe. Give me Romans 5 and 1. That's why he say you got to endure tribulation to enter into the kingdom of Elohim, because tribulation will bring you to him. That's why he said the captain of our salvation was made perfect through what? Sufferings. Because that's what pulled him to Yahuwah. Didn't push him away. These niggas get in a little, that's why he say, by and by they are offended. They ain't had no root in them. They couldn't take it. Romans 5 and 1, man.
It says, therefore, being justified by faith, we have shalom with Elohim through our master Yahushua Mashiach.
Yes, sir.
By whom also we have access by faith unto his grace wherein we stand and rejoice in hope and esteem of our
We rejoice in what? So you really, again, when we talk about joy, again, your rejoicing is in your expectation of what you seek to receive. What you seek to receive from y'all? What you seek to receive? What you seek to receive? What you seeking to receive? What you seeking to receive? What you seeking to receive, little muffin? What you seeking to receive? What you seeking to receive, Darius? Jughead Jones? D? What you seeking to receive from Yah? What you seeking to receive, Shayla? Huh? What about you, Lee and Glover? I know you back there. I can see your head. The reason why I'm asking, because sometimes you need to hear it out loud. It's not the fact that if everybody got the same answer. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you seek to receive, then what are you doing to receive it? If you say that's what you want, what you doing to receive it? How bad you want it, right? Hamashiach wanted it so bad he was willing to die. How bad you want that? Because we can say, I want eternal life. I want the Ruach. How bad you want it, though? That's the question. How bad do you want it? Do you want it more than you can breathe? Do you want it more than you can eat? Because Job said he esteemed this man's word more than his necessary food. Are you willing to die for it? And not just physically, but spiritually? What you willing to sacrifice for it? What you willing to walk away for it? What you willing to endure for it? See, that's the question you got to ask yourself. Because this ain't just something to do. Would you do it if everybody walked away from you? Would you do it if you were alone? Wasn't Elijah alone? Would you still go and go as hard as he went by yourself? What would you do if everybody walked, who you walked with, turned and walked away from you like they did of Hamashiach? Would you still keep going? If people died, if you lost a child, if you lost your spouse, would you stop? If you lost your job, would you stop? See, that's the question you got to ask yourself. That's why you say you got to sit down and count the price, whether you got sufficient to pay. Everybody ain't willing to pay. What he told, because they keep making a meme out. What he say, Nate, I'm in a bind, and get what Satan gonna come up with? I got you.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
Maybe some other time.
Well, what you gonna do for me?
Niggas giving up that butt.
Giving it up. I gotta get him in school clothes.
My brother, tuition.
I need his tuition. You spread the eagle. You seen that video, that young boy they been ranking on in that music video, jumping down, getting the eagle on. They said some video, some little jet. He was here?
Yeah.
That nigga disrespected the city, man. Oh, I ain't no cuz from here.
I seen it on damn page. Like, this nigga can't be from the city doing this.
He can't be not born and raised. Boy, that nigga was rapping, boy, that nigga dropped down and got low with it. Spread eagle with it. A couple times. And bounced with it.
He had like a little.
He had a tracksuit on.
Yeah.
Some
All
Gucci
black.
shoes. No, it wasn't all black.
It looked like he was down out east.
He had on some Gucci shoes. And I think it was like
He a rapper?
He was rapping. While the nigga was rapping, that nigga was hitting his rhyme. Bop, bop, bop. That nigga dropped low.
Nah,
Bop.
he ain't from here, bro. I seen it. He ain't.
The nigga was like, he can't be just with doing that. That's all I saw. So I assumed they was.
Man, they made a clip. I seen the original video. He was in the house when he did
Yeah,
it.
when I seen that,
Oh, he was in the house?
I ain't watched
Oh, I
the
ain't see it.
video.
Cause the nigga put it in the sports group and nigga was like, man, what's up with these young niggas, man? I'm like, what is he talking about? Nigga say him in the city. And then I got to the part, I said, oh no. Then somebody else made a video and they played back that butt up while he was doing it and timed it so he was on beat with it and all. Then somebody else did one with drop down and get your eagle on, girl. Killing him. Killing him.
I ain't see that, man.
They killed themselves. That's the state our people out though. Lord have mercy. But yeah, man, you gotta ask yourself how bad. And I said that because he dropped down. Cause hey, shoot, I'm in a bind, Nate. But that's what you do every time you lend to your desires and the sin. I'm in a bind, Nate. Or what that nigga say? Well, what you gonna do for Smitty? Oh, Say that little booty mad, huh? Oh, we said, what you gonna do for James? Oh, that little booty mad, huh? Smitty, show her the door. That's what Satan want to know, what you gonna do for him, or he gonna show you the door. Y'all ain't gonna want you back once you been down around here dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight. How many of y'all feel like you dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight? Y'all must ain't never watched Batman. I utterly refuse. I've been on that. We're 10-year veteran. Ain't got no time to be dancing with no devils.
Look at him.
Shoot.
Look at him.
10-year veteran ain't got no business. Who?
Showing his little status.
Ain't no status. That just letting you know. That ain't stats.
Time in. Isn't it?
That ain't no stat. That just said you know that.
Stats.
No, but guess what? When a nigga was a rookie, you ain't know the game. Guess what you doing? You tangoing with the devil in the pale moonlight. You ain't know no better. You was a rookie. You making rookie mistakes.
You 10-year vet.
Your 10-year vet ain't got no business making no rookie mistakes.
I mean, stats right.
Now, it ain't about no stat, because you could be a 10-year veteran and just be on the bed playing your role. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to.
Saying you was starting.
I ain't saying nothing. All I'm saying is, you 10 years in the game, you ain't got no business making no rookie mistakes. Right or wrong? Shoot, 5 years in the game, you should be, I give you a sophomore slump. 3 years, you should start figuring the league out. By year 5, you should be well informed of what's going on. Straight up and down. 5 years, boy, if you 5 years in, boy, you can't get your mind right. Boy, I don't know what to tell you. 5 years? Because guess what? You can't use that I'm new to the word excuse for too long. Nigga be talking about, I just started dealing with it. You been in the word 4 years. Nigga, please. Time go by fast, man. You know what I'm saying? You been done look up, it be 2022 around here. You'll be looking up some of these children be around here getting ready to go to middle school. You be wondering what happened. You know what I'm saying? Around here trying to run your little children off from the little center kids in the neighborhood.
Shoot, that joint is tough.
Play with it. Let's go look at somebody. Who else we sit back and think about has some tribulation? Let's say somebody else. Because when you look at the tribulation of what people suffer, it pulled them to Yah. Go on and get them Luke 22 and 30.
You got little Joseph.
I got who?
Little Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph definitely did it. Tribulation pulled him towards Yah.
You already did little David.
We already know David tribulation.
Little Joseph.
You know, David tribulation was, some of that was punishment for his own works. The first part with Saul was tribulation. With Absalom them, that was punishment for his sins. You got to know the difference. With Saul, that was tribulation. After that, with Absalom, that was him being buffeted for his faults. And he took it patiently, too, as he should have, because you're dead wrong. Come on, man. Luke 22 and 30. Tell me what that say, man.
He said, and I appoint unto you a kingdom as my Father hath appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Yasharal. And the master said, Simon, Simon, behold, Hashatan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brother. And he said unto him, Master, I am ready to go with thee both into prison and to death. And he said, I tell thee, Peter, and the cock shall not crow this day before that thou shalt thrice deny that thou knowest me. And he said unto them, when I sent you without purse and scrip and shoe, and lack ye anything?
Did you lack anything?
And they said, nothing.
Nothing.
Then said he unto them, but now he hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that have no sword, let him sell his garment to buy one. For I say unto you that this that is written must ye be accomplished in me.
See, this got to be it. So he's telling you now that something's about to happen to me. I have to be patient in this suffering that I'm about to take. Go ahead.
And he was reckoned among the transgressors, for the things concerning me have an end.
Have a what?
Have an end.
Go ahead.
And they said, Master, behold, here are 2 swords. And he said unto them, It is enough. And he came out and went and was wont to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples also followed him. And when he was at the place, he said unto them, Pray that ye enter not into temptation. And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast, and kneeled down and prayed, saying, Father, if thou wilt be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done.
See, this is patience because this is expectation of receiving something. And what else is he doing right here? He's praying right now. And that's the other thing he told you. He told you to be continuing instant in prayer, correct? Go ahead, man.
It says, and being in agony, he prayed more earnestly.
Now he in what?
Agony.
So when you look at him being in agony, is that agony of physically or agony mentally? That's mental anguish. And right now, that's where we look at something where we're looking at fainting. He's not fainting. See, go ahead, keep going.
And his sweat was as it were great drops of blood.
See,
falling
people
down
think
to
that
the
he was
ground.
bleeding. Said his sweat looked like blood. That's why people get amped up when they see little stuff that look like Jesus and it's bleeding. See, it's bleeding like he did. That's not what it said. Go ahead.
It says, and when he rose up from prayer, he was come to his disciples. He found them sleeping for sorrow. And he said unto them, Why sleep ye? Rise and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. And while he yet spake, behold, a multitude, and he that was called Yehuda.
That's good, right? I think we missed the verse where it said Malachim came and strengthened him. But nevertheless, he had to get strength. Now, why did he need to get strength? Proverbs 24:10. Because again, you got to be rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, and continuing instant in prayer. Now, the word for prayer, we're going to grab the verse so you can have it, and we're going to pull it in a moment. 24:10. Proverbs 24:10.
It said, if thou faint in the day of adversity. thy
If you
strength
faint
is
in the
small.
day of what?
Adversity.
So adversity is likened to what? Tribulation. Now the word for faint is rafa, and that's to be disheartened. You have a rush of pain and a hate. So guess what this is going to cause you while you feeling like you're going to faint? You need to behold the words of the highest. You need to hold those evident in the day when you feel like you finna faint. Because if you don't look into greatness or behold the words of the highest, then you're going to faint. Continue. Because we seen that was what Mashiach was doing. He was hearkening back to the words what his Abba told him before he even came. Go ahead. He said if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is what?
Small.
Small. Your faith small.
If thou forbear to deliver them.
That's good. Your faith small. Now let's turn back around and let's look at something, right? Come over here. We're gonna tie two things in together, right? Judges 10 and 12. We got to make it all go together. Judges 10 and 12.
It says,
We still got to come back and reconcile one thing from Ruth too. I ain't forgot about it.
the Zidonians also, and the Amalekites, and the Maonites did oppress you, and you cried unto me, and I delivered you out of their hands.
Listen, you getting tribulation, right? You called on me, I saved you, correct? Listen what he say. Because if you calling on him, you praying to him, you making supplication, correct? Everybody be quick to call on y'all when things get ugly. Ain't nobody calling on niggas. Don't never want to call on y'all while they out here sinning, when they out here living sour. I want to thank God for his many blessings. Soon as stuff get oh God, it's funny that atheists don't never call, even though it doesn't matter what word they use, they don't never call on God till the time something bad happened, and the atheist be like, oh my God, I thought you didn't believe in no God. Save yourself, nigga. That's what you do. Pray to yourself. Go ahead.
It say, yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods.
You done what?
Served other gods.
What else?
Wherefore I will deliver you no more.
I ain't gonna save you no more.
Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen.
Go cry to them.
Let them deliver you out of your time of tribulation.
Let them save you out of your tribulation. See, this is why a lot of people turn from the word. We sit back and while we read this here. You over here doing what you want to do. You serving other gods, and you expecting them to come save you. He gonna tell you, no, let that what you've been serving, let that come save you. So this is why a lot of people don't be patient in their tribulation, because you've been out here out of pocket. So you really going through what you going through because you being buffeted for your faults. So now you want to, this is why a lot of people turn from Yah. Man, that God ain't real. Why he ain't come and do this and come and do that? Well, why you was over here doing this and doing that and doing this? Maybe he could have saved you. Maybe he could have lent a hand. You see some of the mean them dudes be making when they be like, oh, I paid all the rent and bought all the groceries, and your wife say, I want to thank Jesus for it. Because niggas really want to put themselves before Elohim. They feel like he got to get all the credit. If your woman, any type of woman, she know you went out here and worked for it, and y'all made the way for you to do it, but you still had to get off your rusty behind and go do it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he just opened up the sky and dropped $10,000 down and say, here, son, pick it up and take it to the house. You know what I'm saying? He could create a way, but you got to do something. Shoot. Well, that nigga that's stupid. 1 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 1. That nigga hit the nigga.
That joke was on time. So that's all right.
I mean, he'll make a way. 3 and 1. You got to do something, though. That same way I told you, dude talking about, oh, yeah, please take this spirit of lust off. Nigga said, that's what nigga always scream. Everything a spirit. Ain't nothing a spirit. Some of you niggas just wicked.
That's what you like.
Yeah, that's what you like. That's what you into. Ain't no spirit. He got a spirit of lust on him. No, that nigga ain't got no breath of lust on him. That nigga's lusting. That's his flesh lusting. Get it under control. You know what I'm saying? I done heard niggas say, boy, that nigga got a spirit of cigarettes on him, spirit of weed. You know what I'm saying? No, nigga, that nigga like to smoke. Your flesh like the nicotine. Resist. Suffer in the flesh. Deny yourself.
Gotta pray that off.
You can't pray that off you. Because guess what? He going to sit back and look. You going to be, y'all, please take the cigarette out my mouth. Put it down, nigga. That's what he going to look at. Put it down. Put it down. What's so hard about that? Y'all, please help me. I masturbate too much. Well, stop touching yourself. Yeah, I got a problem cheating on my wife. Stop doing it. I got a problem lying. Start telling the truth then. You know what I'm saying? When you do that, this is why a lot of people don't take the word seriously, because at the end of the day, you're shifting accountability off yourself and putting it on the devil. You know what I'm saying? You shifting accountability off yourself and you placing it somewhere else. So therefore, you're never truly responsible for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no devil making you do nothing. Because if you say it's an unclean spirit on you, you saying it's a demon, it's a devil on you. Nigga ain't no devil. No, we already went through that. Ain't that devil in that, no unclean spirit on that book made nobody do nothing that wasn't already in their heart. Judas already had it in his heart to turn on Yahushua. So when you read John 13 and it say Satan entered into his heart, he was already an adversary. He was just doing what was already in his heart to do. Every person who had an unclean spirit in that book did not do anything that was already not in their heart to do. Matter of fact, the people you read it, they were tormented. They were actually hurting themselves.
Yeah, it was something that was wrong with them.
You know what I'm saying? It was an actual physical malady wrong with them. The only person you read had an evil spirit on them was, and it was tormenting Saul. And Saul tried to do what when the evil spirit was on him? Tried to kill David, but it was already in his heart to kill David. That's when you know niggas don't, that's Christian stuff. No unclean spirit on you making you beat your meat. Nigga, you a pervert. You got the spirit of homosexuality. That nigga's perverse. That's perversity. That's your own mind. That's your own heart. How's it an unclean spirit, but then he say it's the things that come out of a man that defile him? So is it the unclean spirit? Because everybody talking about everybody got spirits on them. No, nigga ain't got no spirit on him. Nigga evil. He got the spirit of a murderer. No, he's a killer. There's some people out here who are killers, who kill. You ever met a killer? You done met a killer before? You done met one before? Ain't no spirit on them niggas. Them niggas evil, ain't them?
Cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Ain't no spirit on them niggas.
Yeah, it's regular.
It's regular. You got some niggas that kill a nigga the same fashion a nigga fix a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Think nothing of it. Kill you like a nigga step on a roach and keep on going about his day.
But it's like that with anything. A
Nigga, that's a lie. He gonna shoot you one.
He gonna shoot you one.
Easy.
Pop, 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 pop.
I could be wrong. Then, Yahusha said Peter had like a.
No, he said, get behind me, Satan. Because Satan just mean adversary. Don't mean the spirit was on him. That's one of the things what dudes get on people about too, because Satan simply just means adversary. You know what I'm saying? So you could be adversarial and it don't mean that unclean spirit is on you. You just act, because when you go read Numbers and that angel withstood Balaam in the way, the word used there is Satan. Because that angel was an adversary to Balaam. But that wasn't the devil. Satan is called the devil because he's an adversary to righteousness. But Satan can't make nobody do nothing. That's why these niggas trip me out when they say that, because now you have then y'all can't punish them if there was a force outside of them, inside of them, causing them to do something contrary. You know what I'm saying? He would be unjust to condemn them for that, because it was the spirit that was on you that caused you to do that. But we know what the words say. He say men are enticed and drawn away by their own lust. That's what you wanted to do. Ain't no spirit on you. That's what you wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And as easy as you want to do something, you can stop doing it. Ain't no nigga gonna convince me he got the spirit of lust on him. No, that nigga just lustful. The flesh is lustful, dummy. You know what I'm saying? The flesh lusts after what it lusts after. It desires what it desires. And he told you to what? Mortify your members. So that means you have to crucify the flesh and the affections and the lust thereof and put it to death and live for righteousness. Period. That's why we asked you what we asked you last week. Is you walking in the flesh or is you walking in the spirit? Because if you walking in the flesh, you ain't walking in the Elohim. That means your flesh, you ain't mortified yourself. You still alive. Where he was at? 1 Thessalonians 3:1. He got to go use the potty. 1 Thessalonians 3:1. He got a tinkle. 1 Thessalonians 3:1, right? Wherefore, when we could no longer forbear, we thought it good to be left at Athens alone, and sent Timotheus, our brother and minister of Elohim, and our fellow laborer in the Basar of Hamashiach, to establish you and comfort you concerning the faith, that no man should be moved by these afflictions. For yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto. So he's saying, he let you know that they were appointed to suffer affliction. For we truly, when we were with you, we told you before that we should suffer tribulation, even as it came to pass, and ye know. For this cause, when I could no longer forbear, I sent to know your faith, lest by some means the tempter have tempted you, and our labor be in vain. So listen what this here, right? He let them know that in tribulations he told them that they were going to suffer was for their faith. Because he said the tempter come to do what? Tempt you. That's when you take that back to when Hamashiach got what? What happened to him? He got what? And he got tempted, and that takes us back to what I just mentioned in James. When every person is tempted, they're drawn away and enticed by their own lust. So if your faith ain't right, that's why Yahushua was able to resist the devil, because his faith was on point. So that temptation meant nothing. You can't tempt me with that because I don't desire it. I'm not enticed to run after that. When you working after lust, he come tempt you, you're going to run after that because that's what you wanted. Your faith wasn't on point. That's why you went after that. You saw validation of your flesh versus validation of Elohim, so you didn't wait for him because you didn't trust in him. So therefore, you weren't going to be patient in that tribulation, and that's why you're not going to enter into the gates of the city to have right to the tree of life and inquire in his temple. It's simple as that, because everybody is going to be tempted and tried. What did we just read in Luke, right? Watching what? Lest you enter into what? Because the Ruach is willing, flesh is weak. So if you ain't watching and you ain't praying, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to enter into temptation. But just like Paul wrote to you, in every temptation, he make a way out. And most of you niggas, you see the doorway and you shut it and stay in the house and wonder why you got burnt up because the house was on fire. You know what I'm saying? Just like we were talking about, just on the simple aspect of what that dude in one of the videos I put in there, when he was like, this woman intuition knew that this person wasn't the one. We know the stuff we doing, that's not it. We know the direction we going, that's not it. But you do it anyway. Because you did it because that's what your lust wanted. Then when your lust blow up in your face, you looking stupid. And you looking for somebody to blame when you need to blame yourself for not making the decision that you knew you should have made from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Which is, that's going to be a no for me, dog, or we don't do that here. It's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? But that's only because you got your lust in check. And the only reason you got your lust in check is because your faith is on point. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like what he mentioned, lest the tempter tempt you and our labor be in vain. That's why y'all don't understand. That's why that can be frustrating. Niggas ain't on point because they feel like they work is for nothing. And if you feel like your worth is for nothing, you feel like, why continue doing it? You know what I'm saying? Maybe y'all ain't never been engaged in nothing to where you felt like that. That is very discouraging and disheartening, and it's grievous to the soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't getting no, why are we here? You know what I'm saying? Nobody don't want to do nothing. They feel like they doing it for nothing. Nobody don't want to put effort into something and then the effort is not being reciprocated back to them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody don't want to be a part of that. That's discouraging. Then you feel like, what's the point? Why keep doing it? I guarantee you, if we was to sit back and think about it from our perspective and say, let's make ourselves Yah for a moment, and you sending people over and over and over and over and over and over again to a people to deliver them, and they not listening. As a human being, because I can't say as a human being, that's discouraging, because you're putting effort to come after this person to show that you're interested in them in a particular fashion, namely delivering themselves from death, delivering this people from death, and they're not reciprocating back that effort. That is discouraging. That will make you stop. Which is why, what did y'all end up doing? He sent his son. After a while, he stopped. Before he sent his son, he stopped. He stopped sending prophets. He stopped sending seers. He stopped warning them. You know what I'm saying? He like, boy, I'm done. I'm good. You just seen it in Judges what he told them. Man, call on them gods you've been calling on. Call on them, because I'm good. What did he say in Isaiah? I stretched out my hands all the day to a gainsaying and rebellious people. And I'm being sought after a people that ain't even called by my name. You got to think about that, man. You got to think about that. Come on over here to 1 Kings chapter 9, man. We get this word for prayer real quick. I still got to finish roof. I got plenty of time. It just turned 4 o'clock. 1 Kings 9, make it verse 1, man.
It said it came to pass when Solomon had finished the building of the house of Yahuwah and the king's house, and all Solomon's desire which he was pleased to do, that Yahuwah appeared unto Solomon the second time, and he appeared to him in Gibeon. And Yahuwah said unto him, I have heard thy prayer and thy supplication.
He heard that what?
Thy prayer.
And what else?
Thy supplication.
Come on.
That thou hast made before me. I have hallowed this house which thou hast built, to put my name there forever.
Pause. The word for prayer. Clearly you know what it means. It's tifala. Tile, pay, lamad, and hay. What do you think that's telling us? Ta, pay, lamad, and hay.
Oh, to reveal the words that you belong to the covenant?
Yeah, but that's what I came with, right? You know, pay also mean what, right? Conversion of soul. So we see how that pay, so we have a word that converges the soul, correct? Make you one with it. And then lamad also going to do what? Once this word converges your soul, it's going to guide you to what? To that covenant. See, you can't make supplication unless that word has become one with your soul.
I'm about to say I gotta check on that.
I think it's one.
I gotta check that page.
Yeah, I think
I ain't want to say this.
that's what it had. That's what I had. I wrote something else down. I wrote it down wrong. That's my bad. So when you look at this here, right? You want to look into greatness, you want to behold, or you want to also to know, correct? So you want to know the praise that's going to guide you to the covenant. When you look at Psalms 50, right? Because anybody know the definition of praise just in English?
Say the definition of praise.
In English. It's the same in Hebrew, though. It's about honor, respect, reverence, you know what I'm saying? Give glory to. So when you do that, you giving glory. When you give praise to Elohim, when you make supplication to him, you giving praise to him. Why are you giving praise? What does that mean if you're giving praise to him? That means that this is the person that you know can be able to do your request which you're making. You understand what I'm saying? Now, Hamashiach made a statement. Let's look at something in Job 22 first. Job 22 and 22. Hamashiach made a statement that Abba would hearken to anything that we would pray in his name. Now we know, did Elijah pray during tribulation? And y'all hearkened to his prayer too, didn't it? Jeremiah prayed that he should die, among other things. Y'all hearkened to him. Y'all hearkened to Job's prayers and all. Because he said his ears are open to the prayers of the righteous. He ain't got no problem. His ears open to your requests. But like we told you before, a lot of y'all probably make prayers and you don't get it because you ask not because you ask not, and when you ask to consume it upon your lust, so he not gonna give it to you. Because if he gave it to you, you ain't gonna know what to do with it. You ain't gonna do nothing but ruin it. Just like this here, and this times he give you your desire. Didn't Yasharal ask for a king? It ruined them too, didn't it? They ain't had no business asking for that. So you gotta be careful. Ain't that's the saying they say, be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. You better be careful what you ask y'all for, because he might give you just what you're looking for. And you'll find out that what you're looking for ain't what you needed. As far as your soul is concerned, he give you just what you're looking for. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Job
22 and 22.
It says, receive, I pray thee, the Torah from his mouth.
Receive what?
The Torah from his mouth.
Get that word from his mouth.
And lay up the word upon thy heart.
Lay it where?
Lay it in thy heart.
Back it up to 21 and read that to him.
It said, acquaint now thyself with him and be at shalom.
What does it mean to acquaint yourself with somebody? To know them. Go ahead. We mentioned in that because what did we read Wednesday or last night? Kadesh Father, they have not known thee. In order to know Yahuwah, you have to do what? You have to seek to know him. Go ahead.
It say, if thou return to the Almighty, thou shalt be built up.
You'll be what?
Be built up.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt put away iniquity far from thy tabernacle.
Put iniquity far from what?
Thy tabernacle.
What else?
Then thou shalt lay up gold and dust.
Gold and dust.
And the gold of Ophir as the stones of the brook.
Stones of the brook.
And yea, Almighty shall be a defense.
He'll be a what?
A defense.
So now he'll be a protection.
And thou shalt have plenty of silver.
Plenty of what?
Silver.
Mm-hmm.
For then thou shalt have thy delight in the Almighty, and lift up thy face unto Elohim. Thou shalt make thy prayer unto him, and he shall hear thee, and thou shalt pay thy vows.
He said you'll lift up your prayer and he'll what?
Hear thee.
He'll hear you.
And thou shalt pay thy vows.
What you think that mean when he say you'll pay your vows?
You shall pay what you promised.
You're going to pay what you promise. But let's sit back and look at something, right? He say once you put listen what he tell you, right? If you acquainted yourself with him, that mean, and be at shalom, that mean you've acquired faith. Once you've acquired faith, then you'll receive the words at his mouth and you'll lay them up in your heart. Once you done laid his word up in your heart, then you put sin out of your mortal body. Once you do this, you lay up the treasures, which is the Ruach HaKadosh. Then Yahuwah will protect you. Then you will have plenty of riches. And then you can delight yourself in Elohim because you can look him face to face, which of course, when you make supplication or prayer unto him, he will hear you. He give you the whole process of what you need to do to save yourself and to be received to Elohim. Now we know when the Mashiach did in John 17, did he not pray? What is some of the things that he prayed for? He prayed that what? That we should be one and perfect in one with the Father. Is that not what he prayed for? He prayed that we should be protected, not delivered out of the world, but delivered from what? Evil. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm not only praying for my apostles, but I'm praying for those who believe on me through them. He also said to set them apart by your word, because I set myself apart by your word, so that we can all be set apart. These are the things that he prayed for. And was y'all ears open to his prayer? Because we know what Hebrews said. He was heard and that he feared. He had a reverence and a respect, and he heard him. And what was the reason why? Because Yahushua rejoiced in hope, because he said, Abba, I finished the work which you gave me to do. Give me the esteem that I had with you before the world was. Is that not what he said? Did he not? Was he not patient in tribulation and took all that suffering until his Abba rose him from the dead? And he continued instant in prayer. Sit back and look at that, right? He's about to die, and the first thing he think about doing is praying. And got on his apostles for not praying, did he not? They around there sleeping. He said, yo, y'all couldn't even watch with me for 1 hour. You couldn't even pray with me. That's something to sit back and think about that. On Shabbat, I know you niggas be tired. You be falling asleep. Now imagine if Mashiach was sitting there looking at you. Well, you couldn't even watch with me for an hour. Because I know they had to feel ashamed of how their master looked them in the face and say, you couldn't even stay up with me for an hour. That's all I asked you for was an hour. Shoot, give me 15 minutes. This man in agony about to die. But you notice what it said while they were asleep. What did it say while they were asleep? Do y'all remember what it said in Luke while they fell asleep?
It said for sorrow.
For sorrow. They were sad because he was telling them they were finna die. You know that's what people usually do when they get sad, right? What they usually do? They go lay down and go to sleep. Because they figure if I lay down and go to sleep, I ain't got to think about it. That's why you see a lot of people when they suffer depression, what they usually do. They sleep a lot. You know why people sleep a lot? Because it's akin to death. Your thoughts are shut off. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what depression is you just being overwhelmed with your thoughts and you can't shut them off. You know what I'm saying? And your thoughts usually make you sadder and sadder and sadder. And that's why some people end up killing themselves because they're really killing themselves to shut their thoughts off. That's why our mindset is very, very important. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to change it. Shoot, ain't no sometimes, shoot. Majority of times in life, we have to change. You have to change the way you think. Where we need to go at after this here, man? Oh, yeah. 1 John chapter 3. Verse 18. Brother, it's got to change the way you think, man. You change your life. I had a pen up here. That nigga done disappear.
Probably in your cushion.
I ain't in my cushion. Don't hate on my chair, cuz.
Hey, why I gotta hit on your chair?
Because I'm old and I need this chair. Go ahead. 1 John 3 and 18. Why I gotta be hating on you? Because I just want to use that terminology. You got a problem with that? Clearly you do.
It say, my little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. And hereby we know that we are of the truth, and shall assure our hearts before him.
So when you love in what? In deed and truth, then you can know that you are of the faith. And then your heart is comforted before him. Go ahead.
And hereby we know that we are of the truth, and shall assure our hearts before him. For if our hearts condemn us, Elohim is greater than our heart, and knoweth all things. Beloved, as our hearts condemn us not, then have we confidence towards Elohim.
See that confidence come in where we were talking about that before? You need to have confidence towards y'all. How many feel like you have confidence towards y'all right now? You feel like you got confidence towards y'all? What about you, sir? What about you?
Much.
Huh?
I said much.
What about you? Now, before I go forward to get in, why you feel like you got confidence towards y'all based off what we reading right here? Based off what we reading. That's why I asked that question. Based off what we reading. He said, if our heart condemn us, then we have confidence toward it. Condemn us not, we have confidence towards y'all. So that meaning that you could look up to Shamahim and your heart don't condemn you. So that's what I mean that you have confidence towards y'all. Not that you trust and believe in y'all, but that your heart don't condemn you for you to have confidence towards y'all. Read that again for him.
It says, we hereby know that we are of the truth, and shall assure our hearts before him. For if our hearts condemn us, Elohim is greater than our heart, and knoweth all things. Beloved, if our heart condemn us not, then we have confidence towards Elohim.
So according to what we just read out here, you got confidence towards y'all? I had to make sure that was clear for everybody when I get there. What about you? 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 What about you, Darius? Jughead Jones? D? Sailor? Because I really want to, and you ain't got to answer after this here. I really want, because when he say your heart don't condemn you, that means you know your heart is free of offense towards Elohim and man. That means that the same thing what we just read in Job 22. He say, once you do this, you can lift up your faith. Well, that's Job 11. My bad. But he said, once you get iniquity out your tabernacles, now this man can be your defense, and you can look him face to face. You understand what I'm telling you? See, remember the sinner in Luke 18, what was the thing that he didn't do? He was ashamed to look up. I can't even look him face to face. You know what I'm saying? Because his heart was condemning him. Do you know what I'm saying? So you have to make sure your heart clean. And because that goes to what I asked y'all last week. Because if you ain't ready to die, you just sat in here and lied again. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if you ready to die, that means your heart don't condemn you. You ready to roll. You know what I'm saying? You ready to roll. Because you know what that take us back to? What we read in Numbers 23 last night, right? What did Balaam say Yah didn't see in Jacob again? Saying he ain't see no iniquity, right? He ain't see no perverseness, correct? That means Yahuwah his Elohim was with him, and the shout of who was there too? Shout of the king. Shout of the king. That means that Torah is there, that trumpet is there. That means you gonna get up. Our whole objective in life is to operate and move the way your heart does not condemn you to this man. You know what I'm saying? That you know you have not done anything contrary to him, but most importantly, your faith is rock solid. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be asking y'all this, because I want you to understand this forth of what he's saying right here, so you can get it and understand it and grasp it. Get him get him Acts 24 and 14, what I mentioned, because Paul said the same thing. Don't do it, Mari, don't do it.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Oh, yes, Jughead John, you know you got your son out here with them white man shorts on.
The white man shorts.
Not because of the style of the shorts, because how they fit upon his body. That's how the white man wear them shorts at the golf range.
Loosen up your swing.
Loose enough to swing, but tight enough to keep your body warm. If you ain't never played golf, you don't know that. I mean, golf, they want a little bit of breathability. Get your black behind out of here. Nigga said that like she went to Sawgrass. That nigga said I went to Top Golf. Well, you can't go to the golf course dressed like when you dress at Top Golf. You can't wear that. You gotta have on spikes. Them white folks serious about how you dress on that golf course. They get mad. You ever play golf?
Not a professional game. I done been to that range in Gateway.
You know, it's a lot of public golf courses in this city. We can get a good 9 holes in.
Right now, golf is on the golf course.
Shoot, there's one on Monument. Yes, sir. Quite a few on the west side. I didn't mention that because I talked to the white dude. He said, yeah, man, I'm retired, man. I'm finna go play me 18 holes. So I ain't mad at you. Come on, man. I know I'm gonna be trash. I play it, though. I ain't played tennis since I was about 14, 15 years old.
You gonna make it 10.
Shoot, I ain't gonna make it a much of these days.
The basketball career definitely over.
No, I just got to round back into shape.
Okay.
They gonna take
24 and 24?
Yeah, I still got to round back into shape. I did talk to Shayla about that this morning. I got high blood pressure. I got to do that. Shoot, my cardio is lifting weights faster. But I had a doctor tell me, though, it's good to run. Even though if you physically fit, your heart still need to have exertion. Try who?
High interval training, brother.
No.
He too
That's
good.
what basketball
He too
is.
good.
No, because I know that I'm not going to consistently go out to no park and sprint.
He's on my left.
Oh, yeah, I mean, but lifting weights is a form of hit. Like, he talking about hit training. I done hit training before, but I'm talking about, like, actual cardiovascular movement. Because I done went to a park and sprinted before. I done ran stadiums, and I done ran stairs, and I don't stay with it too long. I tell you that.
Thought you was a consistent, bro.
Not on cardio. I don't care for cardio. Yeah, my cardio was that basketball court.
Thought you was a consistent, brother. What happened?
I just told you I don't like cardio, so. One, I have to actually be doing something athletic because my shins give out before my window. Like my shins go to burning. could be flat-footed, and I'm not running at the proper way. But when my feet hit the ground, it absorb the friction and contact that's gonna vibrate back into your body. But it don't do that to me if I'm doing something athletic. But if I was to say, let's go jog, oh yeah, I done did it before. Well, my shins be on fire. So I used to just walk. No,
You too good for them, bro.
I ain't wearing no Skechers, cuz.
That's true, though. It is the type of shoe you wear.
You too good.
I
for
was
that.
in Air Max at my feet, and my shins did that.
You too good for that,
Those
bro.
are training shoes.
That it is.
When the real run, they ain't in the running shoe
Right,
section.
thank you.
Air Max is training shoes. Them cross trainers.
Section, you go to Foot Locker, running shoes, man.
But they running shoes though. That's what they made for. Vapor Max, Air Max, those are running shoes.
Maybe back in the day.
All I know, them running shoes. But it don't make no difference now because the nigga can't wear no Nikes no way. So
Yeah, that's why you need some Skechers.
I ain't wearing no Skechers, cuz. I might as well put some lugs on if I'm gonna wear some Skechers.
Nah, Skechers make good, comfortable shoes.
They very well may do. But I'm gonna go ahead and deal with people that make shoes for athletes. So that would be Adidas, Reebok, or Under Armour.
But you want me to go get some shoes?
From where? I ain't told you to go get no off-brand shoes, nigga.
You did.
What I told you to go get?
Talking about me going to work. Where my shoes?
Yeah, them work shoes, nigga.
What's the difference?
I told you to get some Crocs.
Yeah, what's the difference?
No, I told you to get. I ain't tell you to go get no Skechers. I'm like, this nigga wearing the good Jordans at Amazon, tearing them up.
And so what you want me to get some off-brand shoes to wear to work?
Yeah, these
Again,
are
back to that.
Ooh, trackers.
I didn't say get no. I didn't say what brand to get. I say, man, get you some. That nigga worried about his ankle being fat on the shoe. That's what he worried about.
I'm worried about my ankles hurting, period, being on my feet 10 hours.
Get you some Birkenstocks.
Some what?
Some Converse. The Converse has got some hot pair of running shoes, nigga. Suede. Joints hot, boy. Tell him.
Man, my feet will be hurting so bad. Yeah.
Sound like you do need to get you some hot top Skechers.
That's what everybody wear at work, though, for real, Skechers.
I believe it. Because that's what all the nurses and CNAs wear.
Because they comfortable. Yeah, they say they
I wear slides when I'm on my feet all day. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't never seen no high top Skechers.
You ain't never seen no high top Skechers? I ain't never seen no high top K-Swiss now that you mention it. and K-Swiss tennis shoes. Like literal tennis shoes. Yeah, they still make.
Oh, yeah. But I done seen some clean K-Swiss. I ain't gonna
I never wore K-Swiss because them girl shoes.
Yeah, they is girl shoes now. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Ain't no man argue me different.
Nah.
K-Swiss like buying a Dodge Neon. That's for girls.
That's for girls. I ain't never seen no man in K-Swiss.
I seen niggas used to
Niggas wore K-Swiss back in the day. Dope wore
I wore
K-Swiss.
all white in the day.
I was about to say, yeah. Back in the early 2000s.
I remember when
Shoot. In the late early
Yeah, I was
90s.
gonna say that. My dad came.
That's just how I felt. I'm not saying it's fact. I just felt like they were girl shoes. I felt like a Dodge Neon was a girl car. I feel like a Chevy Malibu's a girl car. They done changed it up a little bit, but that's how I felt at the time.
No, I can't say that. That Malibu.
I said they done changed it up now.
Nah,
That
but
previous body style, that's for a woman.
Yeah, that one before the one y'all got is more manly than the one y'all got. That's just box. The Malibu? Huh? The one
Where
before
we
that
at,
one.
man?
Y'all got. With the square lights on the back. That's just kind of manly.
I waited for my time. What you got for me, man?
A little axe.
Ask what, 24 and 14?
Little
Let it
axe,
ride.
Let it ride, right?
Hey, Lizzie.
They say, but this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I, the Elohim of my fathers,
Hey,
believe
Potty.
in all things which are written in the law and in the prophets, and have hope towards Elohim, which they themselves also allow that there shall be a resurrection of the dead, both the just and unjust.
There's going to be a what? A resurrection of the who?
The dead, both the just and unjust. And herein do I exercise myself to have always in conscience void of offense towards
Void of what?
Elohim, void of offense towards Elohim
And who?
and towards men.
That's how you want your life to be. That you're void of offense. And I told you this before. All you got to do is take it one day at a time. Just one day at a time. See, because remember, that's why we went through the thoughts of foolishness and sin. How many of y'all been told that if you have a bad thought, you sin? How many people done ever heard that before? You know why people tell you that? To make you feel like you can never be complete. Did y'all ever tell you that a bad thought was a sin? People read that because they see the thoughts of foolishness and sin in English and see and say, oh, see, you got a thought of sin. You got a thought, you thinking something bad, so you sinning. But we seen that the thoughts is what? Your intents, your plan, and your devices. That's what the sin is. You know what I'm saying?
I used to think that. They don't say it in the word, but I used to thought come out the heart.
Yeah, he was talking about your actions. Because when he's saying that out of the hearts of men proceed fornications, blasphemies, evil eyes, lust, lasciviousness. That means you're plotting and planning in your heart to do this so that it'll manifest. But what did Paul write in 2 Corinthians 10? To bring every thought into the captivity of Hamashiach. So just because you have that thought, you allow the word to bring that into subjection and you don't move on it. You know what I'm saying? Because he know that you are flesh and you're dust. So he already know your frame. He know the thoughts of man is vanity. He know you don't think about nothing but foolishness and worthlessness. But I'm not going to condemn you for that. You know what I'm saying? Because you thought about killing. David probably thought about putting that sword through Saul, but what did he do? He didn't do it. He thought about killing Nabal. But what did he say when Abigail came to him? You have stopped me from avenging myself from your good counsel. Because his thought was to kill Nabal. That was not a sin because he thought to kill Nabal. It would have been a sin if he would have went and did it. His sin would have been he avenged himself. Because the law say what? Vengeance is mine, saith Yahuwah. I will repay. So you took this into your own hands.
What you when people be saying Moses saying that he killed somebody.
What he did was defense. He defended someone. Someone was being accosted and he stood up on their behalf. You know what I'm saying? That's not murder.
But Paul say that. He say the things that I think do, I don't do because it's
Yeah.
weird.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
saying I think about doing all kind of stuff, but
I don't do it.
I don't do it.
Because your flesh think about a lot of stuff. Go steal. Oh, you ready to steal, huh? You a little booster? You a little booster? Well, shoot, nigga, bring me some clothes back next time you go to the mall. I got you. Say what?
It sound like you on speakerphone.
Yeah, most definitely. Sound like you wading through the water.
Yeah. What'd you say? Just put your mouth up to the phone so we can hear you. Yes, sir. Go ahead. What you was asking?
What about it? Oh, he must be talking about when he said if you lust after a woman in your heart, you've already committed adultery with her, because that was referring to what David did. He lusted after Bathsheba in his heart, and he went and did it. When you sit back, and that's again taking you to your thoughts. In Hebrew, thoughts is intentions, plots, plans, and devices. So when you have a thought in regards in Hebrew, that means this is something that you're plotting and planning on doing. That's why he say a wicked imagination is an abomination, because these are things that you are planning on doing.
Yeah. Because that was the difference between David. He seen what he liked, and he might have liked it that, but in his mind he had already planned on
what he was gonna
sliding
do,
this nigga and taking that.
And taking that.
It wasn't that. Oh, I would. It was like, oh, I done found a full plan in my mind to do it. That's why he did it. Cause he ain't bring that.
You can look at a woman and be like, boy, she look good.
Yeah.
That mean you lusting.
Yeah.
But your lust come in at when you done already formulated in your mind what it would be like to have sex with her, because that means that's your intent. And when you step to her, that's what you gonna be trying to do.
Or if she stepped to you, you gonna do it.
You gonna do it.
Cause you done already thought about it.
You done already thought about it in your heart. That's what you gonna do. You was just waiting on the opportunity. That's when it's sin, because this is what you gonna do. That's the saying I told you. Like, it's a lot of dudes don't mess with no homosexual till they get up the road, because they never had the opportunity to fulfill their homosexual desires. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Dead serious though. But they get up that road, next thing you know, they messing with punks. The reason why I say that is,
makes sense.
the reason why
true, though. I
it's
know
this.
it's true.
I'm telling you what I seen.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Because you just don't wake up one day and say I want to have sex with a man because somebody gave you a 4 to 10 year sentence. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just keep it hot with you. It's niggas who were doing 12 months, 15 months, 18 months, and they getting up here and they messing with boys. So you already had that desire in your heart. Now you have an opportunity to act on that desire. You feel like you can act on it because nobody who knows you can see that and put that out there, because you just don't wake up one day and say, I like men. That's not what happens. I had a dude tell me, dude accidentally gave him fellatio. No, that didn't accidentally happen. That's what you wanted to happen. Because I used to act like, bro, how you come up here and do that? Oh, you were gay before you got here. No, bro, he never did. I had a dude tell me had been down for 14 years, never messed with a homosexual. He finna get ready to get out, and lo and behold, guess what he do? Start talking to a man with titties. You know what I'm talking about? A man who actually bought and purchased breasts. Not someone who was fat and had titties. A man with breasts. I watch men pay a man with breasts $40 to $50 worth of commissary to look at his breasts. This nigga say, I ain't seen breasts in 10 years. I say, well, you see titties every day, boys. Plenty of women walking around here. Ain't no way in the world. So that coming from, you had that in you. When a woman get with a man, or a man get with a woman, and then they go to cheating, and they be like, well, they already had that in them. All they needed was the opportunity to execute it. That's all they needed. Once the opportunity was there, they went ahead and did the work what was already in their heart to do. You think people just start smoking crack? You think people just start getting drunk? You already had a mind and a thought to do something like that for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas who was stealing them cars, they already had a mind. They scammers. I like to steal. They just were stupid thieves. How you steal cars with your own ID and credit card? You know how dumb you got to be to do that? And be shocked when they lock you up. Well, you around here sinning with your own name and your own words, and you weren't gonna be shocked when y'all lock you up. Don't let that be you. Come on with it, man. What we need to roll to? Yeah, we good in that. Let's take ourselves over here to Job chapter 4. Let me deal with a little bit of hope. A little bit of hope. Job 4:4. Matter of fact, make it Jeremiah 17 and 14. Because we're talking about tribulation, so Jeremiah 17 and 14. Jeremiah 17 and 14. Read them 17 and 7 first, and then drop to 14.
It said, blessed or Baruch is a man that trusts in Yahuwah and whose hope
Yahuwah is.
Yahuwah is.
Guess what he say that hope will make you light? Read it for him.
It says, for he shall be as a tree planted by the waters.
By the who?
By the waters.
Yes, sir.
That spreaded out her roots by the river.
Spread our roots by what?
The river.
What else?
And shall not see when the heat cometh.
Don't see no flame.
But the heat shall be green. But her leaf shall be green.
This the tree of life.
And shall not be careful in the year of drought. Neither shall cease from yielding fruit.
Revelation 2 and 4. You'll never. And that take us back to what we were talking about last week with that seed, right? Because when that word fall in that good ground, it will never stop from yielding fruit. Didn't y'all tell us when he promised us the land, if we obeyed, that land would always yield fruit? He told us the land would never stop yielding fruit long as we obeyed. So you know what that meant? We didn't believe that when he told us that land would not stop yielding fruit. Oh, he just talking. See, that's how we feel about the word of Yahuwah. Oh, he just talking. I seen some brothers on the live yesterday. Last night they were talking about this here. He told no lie though. He said when you deal with he said they were talking to Christians. What's your experience with Hebrew Israelite? They just yell at people and cuss them out. And you know the sad part is that everybody feel the need to try to destroy the image of somebody who say they're an Israelite based off of a particular group of people. Just serve y'all and preach the word and stop worrying about them. They got their spot and their place. Let them have it. If y'all done appointed them for damnation by telling lies and living in iniquity, who am I to stop it? Can I stop it? I can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, I do understand where they're coming from, because it makes them apprehensive to even want to hear anything from someone who say they're an Israelite. But at that point in time, I'm going to tell you that's your personal problem, that you let your viewpoint of your past experiences affect what we got going on right now. That's on you, buddy. And as human beings, we all have a proclivity to that sometimes we can allow things from the past to cloud what's going on in the present. You know what I'm saying? But we can't do that. We have to be strong enough to master that and not do that. Go ahead. You ready? Revelation 2 and 4.
It says, nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love.
You left your first love.
Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works. Or else I will come unto thee quickly, and remove thy candlestick out of this place,
Go ahead.
except thou repent.
Go ahead.
But this thou hast, that thou hatest the deeds of Nicolaitans, which I also hate. He that have ear, let him hear what the Ruach
Let him hear
says to the assembly.
what he said.
To him that overcometh,
Who overcome?
I will give to eat the tree of life.
Tree of what?
Tree of life.
What else?
Which is in the midst of the paradise of Elohim.
That's a promise. This is what he said that those will get whose hope is in Yahuwah. Because that's what Jeremiah was telling you about. You'll have right to that tree. You'll be as that tree. Or you'll be as Yahushua. You'll never cease from yielding fruit. You won't feel the heat. Your leaf will always be green. And your roots will be spread out by the waters of the waters of the running of living waters that he told everyone who was thirsty to come and do what? Drink. Verse 17, Jeremiah.
It says, be not a terror unto me, thou art my hope in the day
Well,
of
give
evil.
him 14 so they can see what's going on.
It says, heal me, O Yahuwah, and I shall be healed.
Do what?
Heal me, and I shall be healed.
What else?
Save me, and I shall be saved.
Uh-huh.
For thou art my praise.
Behold,
They say unto me, where is the word of Yahuwah?
let it what?
Let it come now.
Let it come what?
Come now.
Go ahead.
As for me, I have not hastened from being a pastor to follow thee.
Go ahead.
Neither have I desired the woeful day. Thou knowest that which came out of my lips was right before thee. Be not a terror unto me. Thou art my hope in the day of evil.
Pause. He said this is his hope in the day. Now remember, Jeremiah is being persecuted here. You know what I'm saying? Yehuda is persecuting this man for the prophecies that he's given. We know later on down the line he get locked up. You know what I'm saying? And things of this nature. They threaten to kill him. And he said that Yahuwah is his hope in the day of evil. That word here is maseh. Or I probably pronounced it wrong. But it's refuge and shelter from danger or falsehood. So this word for hope here is something that is for a refuge or for a protection. We have a meme, a kat, a samak, and a hay. What would you come up with that for that one, that man? Memes, kat, samak, and hay. Notice he also say a refuge from what? Falsehood. And that's for hope. See, it's multiple different words for hope. And we see that they had different things. We see for this one here, we see one was your trust and your confidence. So we seen the trust and the confidence in Ecclesiastes 9 was to resurrect from the dead, to be joined to Elohim. Didn't he say, should we make the body of a Mashiach a what? A harlot. Elohim forbid. Know ye not that he that is joined to the master is one Ruach. So this is where your hope lie, your trust and confidence. But now this one here is your hope in the day of evil is that Yahuwah will be a refuge or a protection from falsehood and from danger. From falsehood and from danger. So what falsehood would he be protecting you from? Not from just from sin, but he will be protecting you from your adversary, the devil, because you are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do, because he was a murderer because from the beginning and a liar. So then guess what that hope in the day of evil protecting you from? The beast and the false prophet, because what they coming to do? Tell lies. So when Yah's not your hope and you don't have confidence in him, remember how we read something last night about him being a refuge? So he's not a place of rest for you. So you're not going to have protection from danger, and you're not going to have protection from lies. Because if you got the word in you, who can deceive you? People get deceived because the word ain't in them. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't necessarily mean that you evil or wicked. You get deceived. Why did Eve get deceived? Because she didn't lay the word up in her heart. She could recite it back. She recited it back, didn't her? But she didn't have it in her heart. That's why she was deceived. That's what I be telling y'all about. It don't make no difference because you can recite back and answer a question and run some verses back. If it ain't in your heart, nigga can lie to you and you gonna go for it. See, we don't think about that. We don't even sit back and think that Eve ran the whole word back to her, and the book say she was deceived in them. But she knew the word though. But she hadn't laid it up in her heart. She didn't receive it. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be deceived like that. I'm trying to tell you now. You know why she would deceive? Y'all wasn't no hope. Well, say that when we look at mean, right? What we'll use probably good old water, right? Cot, we know we gonna separate. But for samak, what will we use? Grab hold? I'll take it. What you'll use for hay, sir? You say you want a real? Maybe we'll sit back and look at that man with them raised arms, grabs hold and separates you to the ruach. Because now you can sit back. We could you behold the man with raised arms, and he grabbed hold to you. Now he separated you underwater, or separated you onto the ruach.
What was the definition of?
Refuge, shelter.
That's what I wasn't gonna use separate though.
What you gonna use?
They say protect or surround.
Well, then you protect them.
Cause that's the reason I said that for that. I had to go look.
So then you sit back and you look at, behold, the protection will grab hold to you to keep you in the ruach. Because he your hope in the day of evil and from falsehood. Go to Revelation 14, right? 14 and 7. Come here, Leah. Sit down, Pop.
Saying with a loud voice, fear Elohim, and give esteem to him, for the hour of his judgment is come. And worship him that made Shamahim and the rocks and the sea and the fountains of water. And there followed by another Malachim, saying, Babylon is fallen, the great city, because she has made all nations drunk of the wine of her wrath, of her fornication. And the third Malachim followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark on his forehead or on his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Elohim, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone
Forever and ever.
in the presence of the Kadash Malachim, in the presence of the Lamb.
Now give me Revelation 13 and 9. Listen.
It said, if any man have ear, let him hear. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the face of the Kaddish.
This is tribulation going down. It's also mentioned in that Revelation 13. It's a lot of tribulation going down. Now go to Revelation 12 and pick it up at about verse 12.
It said, therefore rejoice, Shamahim, and all that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the rocks and of the sea, for the adversary is come down unto you, having great wrath.
He's got great what?
Wrath.
So he coming with something. Now go to Joel 3 and 14 real quick.
Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Now let's go to Joel 3 and 14 and we come right back. Because he said it'd be my hope in the day of evil. So when you look at this here, right, that man with raised arms is going to grab hold and protect you by the Ruach. He's going to take you in. Which takes us back to being joined to him. Which takes us back to him pulling him to you during tribulation. Because this tribulation we read about in Revelation. Joel 3 and 14.
It said, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of Yahuwah is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And Yahuwah also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. And the Shamahim and the rock shall shake, but Yahuwah will be the hope of his people.
So that same word for hope is the same word in Jeremiah. Now, why is he the hope of their people? Because we going through it. We're being accosted. We're being persecuted. Like Daniel told you, he'll make war with the Kassed and overcome them. We're being accosted. You're being persecuted. Before we go back to Revelation, go on to get him Luke 18 and 1. This is why you're looking about rejoicing in hope, because you should be rejoicing in the hope of your coming salvation, correct? patient in tribulation, and continuing instant in prayer, to where you are not falling out and fainting because of what's going on around you. You continually make, and we still got to finish 1 John chapter 3 and reconcile what we read in Ruth. You continually seeking this man's face through supplication that he would deliver you, as a Mashiach did, or as David did. A lot of them songs that David wrote were prayers of him while he was suffering persecution. Come on with it, man. Luke 18:1.
It says, and he spoke a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always pray and not to faint. Saying,
Men might always do what?
pray and not to faint.
That's continuing instant in prayer. You ought to always pray instead of fall out, getting weak mentally.
Saying there was a city, a judge, there was in a city, saying there was in a city a judge which feared not Elohim, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of mine adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterwards he said within himself, though I fear not Elohim, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubles me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me.
Yeah.
And Yahuwah said, hear what the unjust judge said. And shall not Elohim avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them?
Yea.
I tell you that he will avenge them speedily.
Nevertheless,
When the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on earth?
will he find people who are firm, confident in him when he returns? Did he say he wanted to see if anybody was going to find some law on the earth? That's what he said. Did he say, am I going to find an Israelite on the earth? He said, will I find faith on the earth? Because what's you're going to have to endure. Back to Revelation 12, man. You're in verse 13.
It says, and when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth
He
a
did what?
man-child. Persecuted.
So he persecuted. So they're going through some tribulation, are they not? Come on.
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, a times,
And a half a
and
time
a half a time from the face of the serpent.
from that face of the
And the
serpent.
serpent cast out his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
Mm-hmm.
And the rocks helped the woman, and the rocks opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Elohim, and have the testimony of Yahushua.
And that's what take it back to what we read in Revelation 13, that this is the patience of the saints. Because they're going to wait on Yah. Their hope is in Yah. So they're not concerned about what's going on around them. Let's go back to Ruth, right? Who was it, Ruth chapter 1? Because we didn't reconcile, they go to the pen right there. We didn't reconcile this point. When he said that if I should say I have hope, if I should have a husband also tonight and should also bear sons. So think about that part, right? She said if I should have a husband tonight. Romans 7:1. Tonight. Tonight's the night. That was a song back in the day. Little Red Man. You like that, huh? Red Man was raw. Red Man had some very good albums up to about Muddy Waters. You know, maybe Doc's the name was cool. Kind of slid downhill after that. Except for that Red Man, Method Man opus. It was very, very good record. Romans 7:1.
Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the Torah.
He's speaking to who?
Them that know the Torah.
So if you don't know the law, he ain't talking to you. Go ahead.
How that the Torah have dominion over a man as long as he liveth.
Yes, it does.
For the woman which hath a husband is bound by the Torah to her husband as long as he liveth.
As long as he
But
lives.
if the husband be dead, she is loose from the Torah of her husband.
Yes, sir.
So then, if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress.
The what?
An adulteress.
Go ahead.
But if her husband be dead, she is free from the Torah, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man.
Yes, sir.
Wherefore, my brother and ye are also become dead to the Torah by the body of the Mashiach.
Yes,
that
sir.
She should be married to another.
That you should be married to who?
Another.
Uh-huh.
Even to him who was raised
Raised from the dead. Mm-hmm.
That we should bring forth the fruit of Elohim. For when we were in the flesh, the motions.
That's
of
good.
sin-
How does that go along with what we just read in Ruth? She asked the question if she could have a husband when?
Tonight.
That he would be able to do what? She would be able to do what? So how does that go along with what we just read in Romans? Who did he just say was your husband? He just said Yahushua was your husband. So when did Yahushua become your husband?
When we took him on.
She said if I could be able to get a husband when?
Tonight.
When was Yahushua killed? Was she not able to find you a husband at that particular, find herself a husband at that particular time? Was she not able to bear sons at that particular time? Did we not just read last night that he gave you power to become the sons of Elohim? In Matthew chapter 27, did it not say that men resurrected with him after his resurrection? So when we look at that, we see that Naomi saying if she could get a husband, which is Yahushua, and then you could look at that as the bride being Jerusalem because she the mother of us all. Then we just read the other day that it said that New Jerusalem came down from Shamahim as a bride adorned for her husband. Who is she coming down for? Is New Jerusalem coming down for us or is it coming down for a Mashiach? It's coming down for a Mashiach first. It was already his. He granting you access to what was his. That was his inheritance. He giving you inheritance to what was his.
Because you his son.
You his son. Remember, he said, he that overcome, if I be his Elohim, and he'll be my son, and he'll inherit all things.
That's why I said if I have to see him, cannot have a son tonight. What is that?
She said right here, right? She said, if I should say I have hope, hold on, turn again, my daughters, go your way. I'm too old to have a husband. She said, if I should say I have hope, which means she got faith that this could happen. If I should have a husband also tonight and should also bear sons, would you tarry for them till they're grown? Would you wait for them till they come of full age? Would you stay for them from having husbands? She said, would you wait for them and not pick any other man and wait for him to mature? You know what I'm saying? She said, and guess what she told him to do? You'll be a fool. You know what I'm talking about? That's what she told him, didn't she? You'll be a fool. She said, if you will sit back and wait for this nigga to become godly, you's an idiot. And guess what she ended up doing? Directing it to somebody who was already a full age, did she not? And that's what he ended up doing. You ain't got to wait for nobody to come for full age. I'm going to take my son and make him full age and send you around there to him. See, that's a difference. Because, because we didn't talk about it before. That's what your man be talking about. Get with somebody and wait and see if they could become godly. I heard that man say, boy, you can tell if somebody godly in 45 seconds. I ain't never seen that before. You think you can see somebody godly in 45 seconds? You think you can see if somebody godly in 45 seconds? What about you, D? You think you can see somebody godly in 45 seconds?
I mean, depending on the conversation, but off real.
That nigga said off real. He said you be able to discern in 45 seconds.
Nigga walk over, let me eat that booty.
Yeah, if a nigga walk up and tell me I want to eat the booty like groceries, for well, he ain't godly.
That's what made me think about it. Hey, little baby, let me eat that booty.
But boy, when you talk about this word talk about proving nigga out, boy. And boy, it take time to prove somebody out.
If they real with you, boy, you can't tell.
You can tell, but
If they real wicked, they don't take long. That just coming out they pores.
you gotta wait till the harvest time. You gotta wait till they shoot.
Look like a weed.
Look like a weed. Really, I tell.
That junk coming out they pores.
Oh, if it's real wicked, if they gonna come, but some people can conceal it. Some people can conceal it. Well, no, he showed his hand, but ain't nobody else know he was wicked, but the man who was supposed to know. And all the people around him didn't know, man, Judas a thief. He an unbeliever. He a betrayer. They didn't know that.
Murderer.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't know that.
That's our brother.
That's our brother. Shoot. It's plenty of us in here. Well, not plenty. It's some of us in here be like, hey, boy, you were dealing with a nigga. You over time you found out, oh,
That nigga ain't right.
whoa, wait a minute.
Okay.
Go ahead, put some boom in it. I'm gonna have to get you out of here.
Boom, boom.
You don't know man, that song. That's an old song. he ain't know nothing about that. Yeah, they said let it put some, that bass hit hard when that nigga say let it put some boom in it too, boy. Junk shake this whole building. You got the right system. You know what I'm talking about? For real though. What I was just telling you the other day. Y'all gonna try you hard. Nigga be like, boy, this is what they want to do. He gonna see if this is what you want to do or not. Boy, it's a lot of people done told me that what I want to do. Shoot, I knew they were lying when they told it to me. But I'm gonna give it time though. take but 45 seconds. Ain't that shoot? It took 45 seconds. You gotta watch a nigga. See, because one thing we done learned, just because a nigga say they believe in y'all don't mean they ain't wicked. We done learned that. If you ain't learned that, you ain't learned nothing. There's a lot of people say they believe in y'all, they wicked. There's a lot of people they believe in y'all ain't got no faith. And guess what ends up happening? You married to a nigga, you married to a woman, you hate your life. Because now you sitting back asking yourself, why was I so stupid? What was I smoking? What was I drinking? Why I didn't listen to this person? Why I didn't listen to my intuition? Or the biggest answer of them all, why did I not seek after Yahuwah first? And see if this is what I ought to do. But you know why you didn't do it? Because your loins was on fire. I make decisions for myself. Ain't that what they do? Every person in who done made a decision for themselves, it blew up in your face when you didn't seek y'all first. That's if you were serving y'all. I ain't talking about what you did before you served y'all. If you were serving y'all and you saw something out and you ain't seek his face first, it blew up in your face because you were trying to do your own will and trying to put his name on it. That ain't how they work. Don't be doing your own will and trying to put y'all name on that. But shoot, man. Y'all willing, we'll finish this stuff up on next week, man. But hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. Because I got something to hit y'all with. I got to urinate first. Appreciate everybody on the line and on the stream. Bless y'all out the house of y'all in the name of Yahushua. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all willing to the next time.
Where's your sock?